The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Is Fireman Ed being phased out by the Jets? We're going to talk about that. Ed's going to join the show and clear the air on exactly what he's talking about so people can't misconstrue his comments. It's the Jake Asman Show on a Football Friday. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. Bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Before we bring on the great Fireman Ed and his weekly spot on the program, a reminder to come out and join us at T-Squared Social this Sunday night. It's our latest watch party as we watch the Jets and the Steelers all together. We will have giveaways, drink specials, food specials, the game with sound on, and if there is a Game 6 of Mets-Dodgers, there will be a dedicated area to watch the Mets with sound, and if you just want to watch both at the same time, we'll have the Met game on several of the TVs right next to all the Jet games. So check that out, RSVP, if you can make it to T-Squared Social this Sunday night. If you can't make it this Sunday night, next Sunday for the 1 o'clock kickoff, Jets at Patriots, we're doing another watch party for that one as well. All right, speaking of the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game on Sunday night, our guest joining us on the show will be there. The great Fireman Ed joins us now in his weekly spot. Ed, let's go, baby. I know you're off to Pittsburgh in a couple days here. Let's get it done.
Yes, maniacs.
A bunch of them are going to be there, Ed. A bunch of them are excited to hopefully manifest a W for this team.
Yeah. We're going up. Me and my boys are going up Sunday morning, 8 o'clock. So we'll be up there by 2. We're going to tailgate with some Steeler fans. This guy, Mike Hardison, great guy, Steeler fan. Got to know him. So we'll be up there. You know, so listen, Pittsburgh's always that's football. That's football. Pittsburgh is, you know, home field. They got everything rolling. They do it right, and great coach. So it's gonna be a tough task. You know, we don't win too much up in Pittsburgh.
No.
We have won, but not too much in Pittsburgh. So hopefully we get a win on Sunday night. So
we will talk more about the game and. We'll talk more about the move the Jets made with Devante Adams, Ed. But I want to give you the floor here because you posted an Instagram video, I believe it was Tuesday night, and very calmly you were just asking, hey, there seems to be a difference in the in-stadium experience. Me, Scott, and Jetman, the 3 people who lead the Jet fan, obviously you're the most notable person doing it, but it's not just you, there's 2 other people involved with it, are not being shown on the Jumbotron leading the chants as much. And specifically the in-game when the Jets defense is on the field, you guys aren't being shown as much to lead the defensive chants, which is a major part of home field advantage. So people then took those comments where you use the word phased out, and that's become the headline everywhere. Fireman Ed's being phased out. Fireman Ed is angry he's not being shown on the Jumbotron. I want you to explain to people who don't know the full story where exactly we're at with the Jet chant and your involvement with it inside the stadium during these games.
All right. So first off, you know, there's a big disconnect with exposure at the game. Okay, so obviously the national TV audience sees exposure that we're given, all right, at the games. I understand that as part of the experience. You know, I'm humbled and honored that I'm able to get 80,000 people in unison to do the Jet chant, the greatest chant of all in all of sports. There's no doubt. There's people that have tried to copy it, but nobody does it like the Jet fans do. So let's get that out of the way. As far as, see, the difference is I'm not talking about exposure. I'm talking about the home field advantage in the stadium itself. All right. I've been doing the Jet chant for 38 years, honored to be able to lead the fan base in that. And in the 38 years, I've had a very good rapport with the production team in Jet Life Stadium. You know, between the old stadium, the Meadowlands, and this stadium. Yeah, it's never been a problem. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I don't know. But there's got to be a new voice there. There's got to be something going on there because, and I'm not aware of it, but I know something's going on. And, you know, Scott and Jetman, I think all feel the same way. You know, anybody that's a season ticket holder and that goes to the games on a consistent basis can see the difference. This is the first time in 38 years I'm doing a chant that we did not do a Jet chant after a touchdown. When Garrett Wilson scored to make it 10-7, there was no Jet chant. Didn't even pan to us to, and you know, the fans, they love that. Fans love it. That's one of the biggest traditions we have in the stadium. I mean, it's home field advantage. You forget about me. Whoever could do it, go do it. Yeah, there's a lot of opinions on, you know, me. Go do it. Go do it. Go ahead. Go do it. You can do it. Go get 80,000. Go do it. You know, I'm honored and humbled by it, but it is what it is. So, you know, and never mind that, the defensive chants are more essential than anything in that stadium, okay? And the fan base unites, all right? When we're able to be on that screen because the stadium is so huge that you get lost in it, okay? That's a whole nother story, all right, compared to the old Meadowlands. The Meadowlands was more compact. It was more fan-oriented. Here it's spread out because of the suites and the whole, you know, go into that whole act. But we're all about trying to get a home field advantage for the fans. I mean, that's what it's all about. Scotty, me, and Jetman, it's what we're there for. You know, it's not about us, not about the screen time, okay? You know, that's jealousy when I hear people, come on, stop, please, enough, all right? It's about home field advantage, strictly. And something's going on there, and that's why I spoke out. I waited, all right? The Denver Bronco game, it was evident. And then the other night, it was worse, okay? And that was for first place. I mean, where are we at? What are we thinking about as an organization? Like, you should have your fan base involved. Instead, what's happening there is we're in a club. We're in a club environment. Yeah, music, but they never shut the music off, ever. They never shut it off. You know, when they honor the military, beautiful. It's beautiful. All right? They want to have the T-shirt contest. Okay, people are into that. Listen, there's time for a lot of different things. I get it, all right? That's not the point. It's not we got to be on the screen. The point is there's times in that game where it makes a difference. Home field is because of the fans. The fans make home field. So the experience has always been that. And listen, we're 1-2 this year. All right, we're 1-2 at home. We lost games. Well, that's a whole nother ball game. I mean, Zerline makes kicks, and we're not talking about this, okay? But he's not. I don't know what's with him, all right? Kickers will drive you out of your mind. You know, they just drive you out of your mind. But this is what I'm saying, Jake. The fan base sees it. Anybody that is a season ticket holder or goes to those games, I'm telling you, and that's the difference. As far as, you know, the coverage and, you know, remember, people will always look at a headline and they never look at what I actually said on Instagram, that I actually posted. I didn't post that I want more exposure. I don't know. What are you talking about? That's not what I said. I said that the home field experience and the home field advantage is been taken away from the fans. I'm telling you, that's a fact. And when you see all these comments from the Jet fans, if they're Jet fans on these in the paper, okay, they're either people that don't know they don't have a chance to go to a game because everybody can't afford it. So I understand that. They don't really know. But the people that are actually at that game, 98% of them love what me, Scott, and Jetman do. And, there's always going to be some disgruntled people. I always say if they knew me, they wouldn't talk like that. But from afar, this is the way people are. This is life. This is what happens. I can't control what people think of me. I can only be me. I can only be who I am. And I try to make a difference. It's always been that way. Anybody that knows me knows that. Home field advantage. That's all I care. I want to win a world goddamn championship. I want to win a world championship. That's it. Take all the rest of the bullshit. I don't care. You don't give me a commercial. You don't give me this. Remember, anything that I get from companies, not from the Jets. Okay? So understand that. And you know what? Hey, I'm lucky. Okay? But I also get me, Scott, and Jetman get 80,000 people rocking. Okay, so there's a reason. Enough for the bullshit. Okay, I want to win a world championship, and that's the bottom line. And whatever it takes, if they're trying to take something away that I believe is going to make a difference for us to hold that Lombardi and hopefully hold the Lamar Hunt Trophy one of these days. I mean, us losing that game the other night was a killer. Now we got to go up to Buffalo and beat them. Okay? So, listen, it's all I want. All right? So, something's going on in Jet Life Stadium. I don't know what it is, but there's a new voice. Something's changed. I don't know. It will come out. It will come out. It has to. It will come out. I don't know what it is. I'm as anxious as anybody else to know. Because how could they change what we've been doing in Trump? This is the only thing we have. We have the 69 Super Bowl trophy, and you got the Jet chant. What else? What do you have? Are you kidding? You got to be kidding me. Somebody don't have a pulse there. Somebody is clueless there. That's all I'll tell you.
Well, let me ask you this, Ed. Take people inside how it's worked prior to this year, like with the Jets in-house production team. They obviously have the camera set up on you and the two other people who lead the chant. Has anyone communicated anything differently to you when you go to the game? They obviously know where you're sitting, so they know where to get the camera on you. Are you ever in communication with anyone with the Jets before home games?
Nothing. I don't. I just know. I know a bunch of the different people that work there, but nothing in particular that was ever said to me or, this is why I said what I'm saying, because there's something going on. I mean, there's something going on. It's obvious, but I don't know what it is. No one's ever approached me. No one's ever said anything that, well, this is this. No. That's
so
what
in the past, they would just find you and just film you. Like you didn't have to worry about it.
Yes. It's just been, it's been going on for years. It's been going on for years. And, have I talked to different people in the organization? Of course, all throughout. But this year, no, I don't know what's going on. Nobody's approached me. I don't know. And the funny thing is that Scott and Jetman feel the same way. Believe me when I tell you that. It's not, like I'm imagining this. So, we're going to see. We'll see where it goes. Listen, we got to win games. The bottom line is we got to win games, and it starts with Pittsburgh. So let's see where. That's not going to be an easy game, but Jake, our offensive and defensive lines have to play better. Bottom line, they got to play better. Quinnen spoke up yesterday. The leader that he is. And said he's got to play better. I often wonder if Quinnen's hurt, because I remember hearing something about his shoulder in training camp. And I want, they hide shit. He just doesn't seem like he's getting the push. I'm watching him on film. It doesn't seem like he's getting a push like he was in the past, because he's a big factor in that defensive line. Big factor, So you can't be. Listen, the Buffalo Bills came in and they in that first drive, they went mano y mano, and they just ran it down our goddamn throat. All right. And as far as that Michael Clemens, is he for real? Like, he's a good cartoon character and a Hercules looking guy, but man, can he seal the edge ever? Ever? Can he seal the edge ever? They actually baited him the last play of the game. They actually baited him. You know they did. You've seen it, Jake. He slashed him, and they laughed at him. They laughed at him. They did. Yep. They laughed at him. You know, and that pissed me off because he's a Jet, and I don't want nobody laughing at. You know. I'll back Michael Clemens. He's one of our guys. But man, you ain't playing smart, bro. You're playing emotional. And I said that before the game. You can't be emotional. He's too emotional. He's got Deion Dawkins in his head. He's got that in his head. That's just one of many things. Bro, you can't not seal the edge on 3rd and 4. You know what they said it in the broadcast. He was gonna run around the end. And he did. I watched it back and I went, oh my God. Because I was at the, I'm in the, at the game, and I'm looking, I'm going, he's going to take right off on the edge. You could see it happening. And he did. Because you don't know what could happen. I mean, you don't know what could happen. We could have stopped them there. We still would have had a little time left. You don't know what could happen. We needed a field goal. With Rodgers is playing well now. If they ever freaking, Tyron Smith is disappointing. I mean, he's getting beat. He's getting beat often. Did you see the statistic? He's got, I think, 6 sacks this year. He only had 5 in
13 games last year. Yeah. But he was a second-team All-Pro last year, and all of a sudden now he becomes a Jet. He looks like Mekhi Becton wearing the same number at left tackle.
And he's such a specimen, Only thing I'm thinking is, listen, it's 6 games in, and usually it takes these guys on the offensive line to take about 4 to 6 games to get into their groove. So it'd be real nice if on Sunday night they could all find their groove,
Ed, real quick, just back to the comments that are everywhere about the Jet chant and being phased out. I just want to give you an opportunity to address something that people throw in your face that I know objectively speaking is not true, because you and I have talked a lot, and I know you. The Jets do not pay for your tickets, correct? Because people are blasting you saying, oh, Fireman Ed wants more screen time, and the Jets are giving him free tickets. Is that not enough? And I say it on the show to everyone who brings it up. You are a season ticket holder. The Jets do not pay for you to attend their games.
I pay for my seats. I have access to go to a couple of sections because I'm trying to make a difference, right? That's what I'm trying to do. So other than that, no, I pay for my seats.
Thank you.
That's just a fact. I mean, I pay for my seats. So I've been paying for my seats for 51 years now. So.
Next thing I want to bring up, when you stepped down from the Jet chant for a couple seasons, you went to every game. You just did not lead the chant, correct?
I was at every game. I never missed a game. I was actually like a wayward soul, because I think it was the last 2 games. There was a lot more. They make of the New England Patriot game that I quit because of the Patriot game. Listen, there was things going on before that. It was the Dolphin game. There was Jake. Once again, I'm going to tell you the smartphones did me in at that time. You got to understand something. These goddamn things came. And they were prevalent around really where you're talking about everybody had them. It was probably 2010, somewhere in that range, because I remember going the last, just before I had actually had to step away, it was like a year before. There was so much, what they do, everybody's got a camera now. Everybody's videoing you. So you got to understand, I was doing this since 86. So you're looking at almost 25 years. There was no cameras. So remember, there's always these people, like you see when an accident or there's a fight, what do? They take the camera, right? So that's what they were doing. They were taking the cameras out, so they were putting mustard on me, ketchup on me, spitting on you. There's a lot of things. Remember, when they double fisting, a lot of stuff goes on. You double fist and drinking. A lot of stuff goes on, and it's football. So and I had my kids there with my wife, and they were seeing stuff, and it just opened up a whole nother world for me, which I wasn't used to. So some things happened on that weren't recorded, and I had to step away. I really didn't want to step away, but I had to, because I was in the end zones at that time, and the end zones are always the madness. Yeah, that's where the madness is. When you're to this day, when you're in the end zones, that's the madness, and I ain't getting any younger. I mean, we've had plenty of altercations through the years, but nothing's filmed. Now I was a New York City fireman. I got a lot of kids that love you. You got a lot of responsibilities. You got to be careful what you do. You really do. You not only owe it to you or your family, you owe it to other people that respect you and look up to you. You got to watch what you're doing. So, and you're a human being. So when you got these idiots that are double fisting, what do you think's going on? You think I'm afraid of them? They don't know me. I'm not afraid of them. Okay? I got to watch what I'm doing. I got to be careful. You got to be respectful. So I'm going to be respectful. If I'm in a room, padded room, alone, be a little different. Be a little different.
That it would. All right.
Everybody's a tough guy. Yep. So they really have to be.
Well, I just wanted to give you the chance to explain that, because there's, it's the same comments every time. He was a Dolphins fan. He quit on the team, and it's like the Jets pay for his tickets, and all these things are not true, no matter how many times you say it. But I want to use my platform to give you a chance to say it again.
You got the Dolphins was when I was a kid, right? So I like the Cowboys, the Dolphins. Everybody liked the Steelers, the Raiders, the Dolphins, because those were the teams that were on TV. Those were the teams that were winning. My father was not a football fan, so I didn't have any allegiance. I was baseball. I was a Mets fan. I didn't have any allegiance to football. And I watched the teams that were winning. It was all about winning. You're a kid. My brother Frankie, who was 7 years older than me, God rest his soul, got Jet season tickets when he was 22. I was 15. He asked me to go to a Jet game. I told him I really didn't want to go to a Jet game. He says, come on, come to the game. You'll like it. I went to my first game, live Jet game. And I fell in love with them. This is what happens. You're a kid, all right? And my brother says, you want to come back? I said, yeah. He goes, you're going to be a Jet fan? I said, yeah, I'll be a Jet fan. So when I became a Jet fan, and that's the way it was. Who knew I was going to be Fireman Ed years later? I didn't, no idea. I knew my passion was going to be great, but I didn't know. And I was 15. I was 15 years old. I love when they say that, Jake, because what did I become a Yankee fan or a Steeler fan where we won all these multiple championships? We haven't won a fucking thing. Okay, not one thing. So what is your point? What's your point? I'm rooting for a team that hasn't won since '69, and I didn't see it. So what are you talking about? You're an idiot when you talk like that. You're a moron. That's just you don't like me. That's okay. I don't really care if you like me, because every knock, it just makes me stronger, you just inspire me when you do that. It doesn't bring me down. You can't bring me down. It ain't happening. And that's that with the Dolphins. As far as why I stepped away, I was at every game. My buddy had a box up, was a lawyer, had a box up in the second level. And I used to go up there. And then I was in the end zones. I was drifting around. It's public knowledge. They were, you got 15 minutes of fame. All of a sudden, you got paparazzi. People are friggin', filming you. Oh, he's here. Fireman Ed's here. Fireman Ed's here. I don't give a shit. I love the game. You know what happened when I left, Jake? You seen what they do? They tried a contest. They did what was that band? They used to have a band there that was on the lower level. They had an actual band. The Giants had it. It was called something. was called something. Somebody will know that's watching. And they tried doing a jet chant with the band. Then they had contests, and I was watching it. I'm watching it, and I'm watching it. I'm watching it. All right. So I think I missed the last 2 games of 2012. I was in the end zones in 13 and 14. I was in the end zones in 148 or 149, I think I was in. And I watched the games. And then 2015 was the first year with Brandon Marshall. I think Marshall. And
That was
Marshall,
the Fitzpatrick year, yeah.
Marshall caught his first touchdown in Jet life. And the Jets came and got me. He was looking for me because I wasn't doing a chant. And I had private conversation with him. He says, we want you to come back. I was a Dolphin. I was a Denver Bronco. I know the impact you make. He goes, and I want you to come back. They got me out of the stands and brought me down. It was with, what's his face? Todd Bowles. Let me go on the field. And Brandon Marshall actually gave me his first touchdown, gave me the ball on the sideline while the game was going on, which was amazing. And, so it's an honor. It was obvious an honor. He says, I want you to come back. You got to come back. And so things just transpired during that year. And, I eventually said, I'll switch my seats up and see if I can get a little more security. I ain't getting any younger. And, the rest is history. I've been back since 15. So it's almost a decade I'm back. But, they'll figure that out too. It is what, Jake, 5 decades. 5 decades. It's the way it is. I love them. I want to win a world championship. I don't care about anything else. They can take all the accolades. They could take everything that I've been honored and, humbled to have. Give it all back. We can win a world championship. Stop doing a jet chant. If that's gonna make us win a world championship, I'm good. Somebody else do it. I'm good. I'll still be there. I'll still be there. Somebody else wants to take over, by all means. By all means. Just don't let the jet chant die. That cannot happen. That's the reason we're talking about this. It's the reason home field advantage. The defensive chants are more important than the jet chant, although the jet chant is historical and it's the greatest chant in all of sports, which is a fact. The defensive, and that fan base deserves it. That fan base deserves it. They've been waiting forever. You got diehards in that stadium. You got 50 to 60,000 diehards that are there every week. It doesn't matter. The other 20, 25, they fly by nights. They come when they want to come. They come. And remember, we have a lot more fans. If we could have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million fans there, remember, people can't afford it. They can't afford it. They'd love to be there. The fans would love to be at a game, okay? And it's sad because that's life, right? But we have a fan base that's unbelievable, all right? And, the ones that hate me, they don't know me. They don't know nothing about me, man. I ain't worried about them. Because people that are at that game know why me, Scott, and Jetman do what we do. We love them just like you guys do. We all love them the same.
Well, Ed, I want to read you some super chats here from season ticket holders because that's the disconnect at the end of the day, right? The people who are actually at these games notice less of the jet chants, less of the defensive chants, and that's what your initial video was about, and it gets completely misconstrued into Fireman Ed wants more screen time, which is why I'm glad you come on the show every week and we could get you on to address it. This first one here is from Eric. I was in section 142 at Bills Jets, and I was yelling at the people around me for being so low energy. No one was standing and making noise. We missed Fireman Ed. JT writes in, it's ruining the jet life experience. We need the chance. JJ, who's a diehard fan and a huge season ticket holder for many years, we were all confused when we didn't see Fireman Ed for the chant after the Hail Mary or the first touchdown field goal since a kid. Always my favorite part. Curly writes in, another season ticket holder. Monday night game with first place on the line. The place was dead. They're too worried about the music syncing up with the dopey light up bracelets. Something we talked about earlier. JJ again, 30 plus years and a part of the team. Story Lynn. Monday's game was strange. No cheerleaders. I thought we scored at weird times, so no Jets chant. Didn't used to stand on someone's shoulders. Obviously, that was your late brother Frankie, who Story Lynn is referencing. JJ says they keep trying to make us sing "Reroll Rocky." What a joke! And last year they tried to make us sing West Virginia. None are New York, New Jersey songs. Fans hate it. And those are just the comments I'm seeing coming in and from season ticket holders who recognize the in-stadium experience this year has not been what it's been in the past. And that's because you guys have not been shown on the screen as much leading the chant. And as you bring up, the defensive chants are a bigger deal than anything else. And this defense is not as good this year from a talent perspective, so we could use all the help we could get.
It's all about the home field advantage. And, you know, everybody's going to spin it the way they want it. Remember, Jake, when they don't like it, they're going to spin it the way they want it, okay? We have media in this town that are treacherous. Treacherous. I've watched it for years. We have beat writers that are treacherous. They don't care about us. They love holding us down. I've been saying this for years. They love holding the Jets down. Remember, the Giants went to 5 Super Bowl, won 4. Okay? What are they're destroying them in the last decade because they're in a bad way, right? But nothing like what we've gone through. I'll listen to that bullshit with the Giant fans when they're 5 decades like we've gone. Okay, then we'll start talking because this is insanity. All right, and it's sad, really. You know, a guy like Connor Hughes is squared away. He says it like it is. You know, there's other guys. I'm not getting into the other guys, but there's it's a lot of bias and a lot of hold you down. That's how I look at it. They hold you down. You know, I can't wait for the day when we can all rejoice and win a world championship and get this bullshit out of the way, you know. But until then, it's going to continue and it gets greater, you know. And I don't, like I said to you, Jake, the distractions and the negativity will never bother me because I'm a half full guy, half glass, half full, and I'm a positive guy. And you can't get to me. That ain't happening, okay? It's not going to happen. I've been fighting all my life, all right? Nobody knows me. They don't know anything about me. They know me as a Jet chant. Don't you worry. I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm fine, all right? I know who's with me, and I know who's against me. I was a New York City firefighter, all right? Up in Harlem, the Harlem Hilton, 69 engine, 28 truck, the 16th Battalion, all right? You want to talk about tough people? Those were tough people. I was a little pimple on their ass, okay? I know what it is, all right? I'm blessed that I was able to be a firefighter up there, all right? And I learned a lot. I learned what devastation and you know, toughness is. I know all about it. So you could never get to me. It would never happen. Okay. I want the Jets to win a world championship. Bottom line. That's it. Home field advantage. If somebody in this that's listening to this wants to take over Jet Life Stadium, by all means. By all means. Whatever it takes to get home field advantage. Scotty and Jetman are doing a great job. They're doing their best, okay? And they get plenty of negativity too, and I feel for them. Just, you know, this is life. This is what happens, okay? But we're all trying. We want to win a world championship. That's the bottom line. If you're not in the stadium, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no clue what you're talking about. You know, I don't want to hear it. Well, he's always on he's on the TV. They put him on the TV all the time. That has nothing to do with it. That's their prerogative. They want to put me on, they put me on. They don't. Doesn't change me. I want to win a world championship. I want home field advantage. That's all I care about. You can take the TV cameras. Go do it. Go do it. Can't get any better than that. Jake, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's just the truth.
You said
Anybody
it, Ed.
that knows me, my boys that know me, they know how I am.
Of
And that's
course.
all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me. My family, the people around me, the ladies and gentlemen around me, they know what I'm about. I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. The Jets can't stop it. They can't stop it because we'll figure out a way.
Well, hopefully they realize they're getting a ton of backlash, and they just do what they normally do, which is show you after and you Scott and Jetman after touchdowns and scoring plays. Like it's a no-brainer.
And defensive chance.
Yes.
Gotta have those defensive chance. And those are more important than anything because that's home field advantage right there. Because that place gets loud. That place gets loud. They can say all they want about that stadium. Place gets loud. When you bring a product there, the fans they're supporting it, you know. And the Lord knows our fan base has been suffering. I feel for all those people. This is why I do what I do because I feel for all of them. I talk to all of them. I deal with all of them. I've been there 51 years. I've been doing this 38 years. I know what the fan base said, how they suffer and how dejected they are, but they still love the green and white. They love the green and white, and that's all that matters. So I'm doing whatever I can to try to win this world championship for all of the fan base, not me, all of the fan base. Get it right. You don't know me. Shut your mouth.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. Let's talk about this game on Sunday. You're going to be there. You'll be right behind the Jet bench. First game for this guy.
Paid for my tickets, by the way, in April. All right. So get that straight. When I'm on the 50-yard line, first row, paid for them.
First game for this guy, Ed. Your thoughts on
Let's
what
go.
adding Devante does for this offense? Because we're in must-win territory in Week 7. They got to win this game on Sunday night.
I agree totally. Had to win the other night. The other night was huge.
Pain.
We'll get into that. I want to get into that the other night. Those referees were pathetic. You got to be kidding me. Were you at the game?
I was not. I was watching on TV.
They were so bad. It
was horrible.
I'm telling you, the referees were biased. I'm telling you. I don't ever say this, but I'm telling you, in that game, they were. I was saying it when it was going on. I said, this is unbelievable. Some of those flags were late flags. I mean, unnecessary flags. I mean, the one with Tyron Smith, the touchdown, that had nothing to do with the play. Nothing to do with it. What are you talking about? Like, it's just, Jake, I'm telling you, we got a lot of things stacked against us. As far as Devante Adams, listen, who can't love Devante Adams? I mean, are we kidding? I'm going to just tell you what I said. This is the first time I'm going to say it on air, okay? I said before the game, before the Buffalo game, I said, if we don't win this game and Devante Adams stays with the Raiders or goes to another team, that means we checked out. That means Aaron Rodgers checked out and the people that are running the organization checked out, because all we heard was that Devante Adams and Aaron Rodgers want to play together. That's all we heard from the moment Aaron Rodgers came here. Am I right or wrong? That's all we've heard. He came, game on. Game on. That means we're going to have number 8 for quite a few years.
That's right. You basically said as much.
We're going to go year to year, but he's going to be here. He said, and Devante said, do you think he came here for a couple of months? Was he here for a couple? Does people actually watch what these guys say, or do they just decide they're going to make their own narrative? Because this is what we have in life. People make their own narrative now. All right? They're going to be here a while. That was joy to my ears. All right? That's joy to my ears. I want to see these guys. Aaron's got plenty left. We can't get him beaten up. All right? We can't get him beaten up. If it means that we have to put the running back on whatever you got to do to read that defense, he cannot be hit like he's being hit. He can't be blindsided. I mean, the biggest hits are the blindside hits. They just are. That cannot happen. Like the rest of the year, that should never happen. A blindside hit. It just shouldn't happen. And I do believe that Aaron, listen, it's 6 games. There's a lot going on. That's why we're fans. Jake, timing, everything, there's a lot involved with all of it. All right? Sunday night, he's got to get rid of that ball. There's no holding the ball because the Steelers love when you hold the ball because they're coming. They're coming.
Well, TJ Watt wrecking the game is a real fear if they don't have a plan how to give Rodgers some time, get the ball out quick. I'd leave Olu in there as an extra blocker on some plays. Like, you got to be quick, ball out, and protect Aaron Rodgers because if they protect him, they're going to be able to put up 20, 24 points, and that should be enough against the Steelers offense.
Jake, they have to play. They got to come into that game mano-a-mano. You got to play physical football with the Steelers. Period. The Steelers don't make any bones about what they're going to do. They're going to beat you up. They want Tomlin is a guy that wants to run the ball and play good defense, and he believes that that'll be enough. At the end of the game, they'll win the game. He doesn't give a shit if they win 13-12. It doesn't matter to him. He wants to win, and he does. And he does win.
Yep.
And that's the bottom line. We go into that game Sunday night. I don't give a shit if we – Jake, do you think I care if we score 24 points? It'd be great. But, Jake, if we score 12 points and they score 11, I'm good.
Take the win.
I'm on to New England. I want to win the game. Forget about it. I want to win the game. And we'll talk about it. We'll be there physically, and you got to match them physically. All right? As far as Devante Adams is going to make a difference on that offense.
100%.
There's no doubt.
You know what he does, Ed? He, one, can beat man coverage, and two, he's going to help them in the red zone, which is why they lost this game on Monday night, because they were 1 of 4 in the red zone. This guy scores touchdowns.
And listen, he constant outlets. He has outlets. He's got Garrett. Now he's got a guy that's better than Garrett. He's got a guy that's better than Garrett. He's bigger than Garrett. He's as fast as Garrett. He's got a wingspan. Forget it. His wingspan is ridiculous. So, it's just another piece. But Jake, it always comes down to the offensive and defensive lines. If the Steelers are going to run the ball down our throat, we're fucked. They can't run the ball down our throat. The Jets did adjust in the second half of the Buffalo game. They did adjust. Buffalo wasn't running the ball like they were running the ball in the first half. First half, they ran the ball down our throat, okay? Especially in the first drive.
Mm-hmm.
They adjusted. So I like Ulbricht's adjusting. We didn't even get into Todd Downing is a refresh. Listen, let's pray. But Todd Downing, listen, that offense was a NFL offense.
They look really good between the 20s. They were moving the ball. There was creative play calling, guys in space. Please continue that on Sunday, and they should win this game.
And we shoot ourselves in the foot again. We shot ourselves in the foot again on Monday night. So, listen, we're going to see what happens, but I think that's the way that game's going to go. I mean, it always is. The Steeler games are all – what you really want to do against the Steelers is if you can go up a couple of scores on them, they have a hard time coming back.
That's it.
They'll have a hard time coming back. That's what I always remember Brady going up there, and, they always used to have big plans with Brady, but Brady would light them up. Brady would kill the Steelers. Destroy the Steelers. I remember every game he would go up there and just destroy them. Because it was quick throws. He knew it was quick to bing, bing, He was, just screens, slants, just pick them apart, And I think that's what Aaron's got to do. Aaron's got to get rid of the ball. You think you're going to go up there and you're just going to run the ball. You ain't just running the ball. They're tremendous at stopping a run. That's what they do. They force you to throw the ball and hold the ball so they can sack you. I mean, it's what the Steelers do. They do it all the time, and they do it really well in Pittsburgh. So you know what you're going into. It should be a nip and tuck game. Zerline's got to make a fucking kick. Excuse my language. Getting nuts. Zerline is driving me out of my mind. My wife said to me early on in the year, because she's at every game, she said, Zerline doesn't look right. She's telling me this first game. He's not kicking right. And I'm going, I just blew it off. I was like, I didn't think anything of it. And she's right.
Remember, preseason, he didn't look great either. And
that's what she was saying.
It goes back to that. And it's very Jet-like for this to happen, right? Last year, the guy couldn't miss. The year before, couldn't miss. He's 35 of 38. Now, all these kicks that he's hitting last year and what amounted to be a lost season, now he can't hit it. If he hits some kicks, they're at least 3-3, if not 4-2 right now. And the whole outlook on the year after adding a top 10 receiver in the sport, if not better, is completely viewed differently nationally.
Yeah, it's incredible. But listen, we're getting into now, you got to win games. You put yourself in a spot where the Pittsburgh game was up in the air at one point. Pittsburgh game's not up in the air. You got to win the game. You got too much talent on this team. There's too much talent. Quinnen Williams, being the leader that he is, said, I got to play better. What was very enlightening to me? I was listening to him. He said that we got to push the line of scrimmage, not be placeholders. That was really like, I was like, what? So their scheme must be hold your spot? Like, what are we doing? Like, we're not, no, there should be stunts and pushing and, what are we talking about? That's a whole nother, I was surprised at that. He said, we can't be placeholders. We got to push the pocket. We got to push the line of scrimmage. That's usually always what you try to do is push the line of scrimmage. I mean, I understand you got to be in your position, which Michael Clemens never is. I don't understand, Jake. Just tell me, what do they see in Michael Clemens? What is it that I'm missing?
I couldn't tell you. And there's people who know way more football than me that look at the film and see the same things we all see. Out of position, never sets the edge, gives you nothing as a pass rusher. Yet he led the Jets in defensive linemen and snaps played in this game on Monday night, which I don't get it. I do not get it. And you really saw, by the way, the impact of not having Jermaine Johnson in this Bills game. Because if that's Jermaine in that spot, you're getting the ball back to Aaron with maybe one more chance.
Speaking of which, all the more reason, listen, if you're all in, Jake, if you're all in, okay, and you went and you got Devante Adams, go get Hassan Reddick.
Figure it out.
You got to get Hassan Reddick. Get Hassan Reddick. You're all in. What are we talking about? You're all in. If you're all in, go all in. All right? And you need him. You need him at this point. You need Hassan Reddick. And Hassan Reddick, Lord knows, needs us. Because I don't know what he's doing. All right? And if there was such a big trade for him, it would have happened. Because you got Drew Rosenhaus there now. We're going on 4 or 5 days now. He doesn't waste too much time. I actually been looking at my phone waiting for us to sign him because he says he wants. Drew Rosenhaus said, I want him to be a Jet.
Right.
Woody Johnson comes out and says, son, you're getting misinformation. Drive up 95. You'll love it here. So I don't understand. What's happening? We can't figure out a number that could work. Now, I felt like it would happen this week because we went with Devante Adams. We made his for the cap $3 million for this year. So I figured, if I'm not mistaken, I thought we had at least 16 million before that. I could swear we had about 16 million on it.
That does not count Reddick because he's not technically on the active roster.
So 16 million.
Yep.
13 million. I thought that would be the reason that they did that, because I said they got to be signing Reddick. Just makes sense. No, it makes sense. Like, give this kid, you can waive a lot of the fines. You can waive some of them, right? They're discretionary. I think 3 million is discretionary, if I'm not mistaken. Give him the money. Get him in here.
I think it's on him wanting to get in there, because when his agents fire him, that means they deem him being completely unreasonable, because an agent is never firing a high-profile client like Hassan Reddick unless that's the case. So now it's on Drew Rosenhaus to convince him, hey, I searched for other deals out there. It doesn't exist. Go play for the Jets. Play on a top 10 defense. Put up your numbers. Someone will pay you in the offseason. Help the team win. It's going to look good for you. Like, that's what they're got to sell him on and get him in the building.
And that's what I was hoping that Rosenhaus could do. You know what I mean? I mean, nobody's going to give him – first off, he can't go to the NFC. It goes for a second-round pick.
Yep.
So the Lions was the likely thing. The Lions ain't giving him a second-round pick for a rental. They're not going to do it. I don't think they'll do it. I mean, they're going for it. You know, I don't know. It'll all plan out. But, Jake, if you're going – the only thing I say, if you're going for it, go for it.
Get it done. Get it done. He's too important right now. They need him.
Yeah, Jermaine Johnson killed us. That was a killer injury for us. Really was. I thought the other kids would be stepping up, but it doesn't seem like it. I mean, there's still time, but, you know, we're running out of time.
We are, Ed. Now, before I let you go, we got to acknowledge someone. I was with this guy in London, one of my favorite people, the great Dark Knight Steve. He gifted a total of 42 Jake Asman Show memberships to the people who are watching live right now, and he did so in honor of Fireman Ed. Thank you for being part of my childhood as a season ticket holder. Section 336 for life. How cool.
Hey, Dark Knight Steve, thank you for the kind words. I'm glad I could make you happy. You know, it's the one thing I can say to you, Steve, and to all the rest of the Jet fans. I think the biggest honor and the biggest thrill that I get is when someone wants to come up and take a picture with me, and a little guy or girl comes up, and you put the helmet on their head. I love that. I have so many pictures that people have come back to me and said, you put this on my head 35 years ago. Yeah, it just says I'm getting old, but you know, now they're in their 40s, and it's a blessing. So, Dark Knight Steve, thank you so much for that. The 42 memberships, that's awesome. You know, Jake does a great job with everything he does. You know, I'm honored to wear the Asmaniac shirt.
There it is. We're matching today, Ed.
We have a nice thing going, and you know, I wish Jake all the best. That he's going places in his life. As far as, and I'll end it with this. Listen, if you knew me, you wouldn't talk like that. I said, I want to win. I want to win. I want home field advantage. You can forget the cameras as far as putting them on my face. I want the camera for the screen for the Jet fans for home field advantage. All right? We're trying to make a difference. Me, Scott, and Jetman are trying to make a difference. That's all we're doing. It's not about us. It's about the fans and trying to win a world championship, get home field advantage. If you were at the games, you'd understand it. You can't afford it? I get it. But listen to me. There's a reason. We're not doing it for us, okay? We're doing it to make a difference. That's just the bottom line. So you can believe what you want, but that's really the facts. And I hope at some point this gets around and things change in that stadium, because it's not going to be Stanford. We're not going to stand for it. It's not going to happen. We want to win a world championship. And the Jet chant and the defensive chants are essential for us to be able to do that. So, to John Monhay,
hold on.
Fireman Ed beer.
It's not too early for a
Once
Friday Fireman Ed
again,
lager right
Jake,
here.
Jake, the Fireman Ed beer, 100% of the proceeds go to John Monhay from Norfolk, Virginia, who had a tragic boat accident. He broke his neck. He's paralyzed. He's a huge Jet fan, him and his family. His father, Will, was a Korea Air Force veteran, okay? Served this country. That's why they're in Norfolk, Virginia. He's got a beautiful family, Sam and Chris. He got a wonderful family. Daisy, they're beautiful people. Listen, there's a QR code. Could you donate something to him? We're trying to get him to walk again. He's battling like hell. He looks great. He's starting to really make a move, and I want to see him walk again. That's 100% goes to John Monhay. And I know the face on the thing is only a mother could love this face. But listen, find it in your heart. QR code, maybe give a few dollars. It's going to him. All right. I appreciate it. Here's to John Monhay. I'm going to actually see him in Pittsburgh. He's coming up to Pittsburgh with his family. So I'll see him in Pittsburgh. Here's to a Jet victory, my man, Jake. Let's get a Jet victory. J-E-T-S. Jets.
Let's go.
All the best, brother.
Ed, you're the man. Tell people where they can get the beer, by the way. A bunch of people in the comments are asking.
Yep. Bolero Snort, Karlstadt, New Jersey. They will send it to your house. We're working on getting it out there all over. The main thing is the Jets need to win. If the Jets win, the beer will sell like crazy. And we'll get John everything that he needs. Hopefully he'll walk again. We'll be able to get him facility where he is able to operate. This is the mission. Okay, this is what we're trying to do for a fellow Jet fan, Jet fan.
Amen.
Okay, find it in your heart. Anyway, hey, I love all the Jet fans. Listen, we talk about the negative. 99% of them Jet fans, they are the best, and I love them, and they love me. Thank God. So all the best. Go Jets.
Let's go, Ed. Safe trip to Pittsburgh. Ed will be behind the Jet bench on Sunday Night Football. What a show, man. That was awesome. Ed's the best. That's why we had to have him on, because, the nonsense that people say about the guy who only read the headline or don't actually listen to the context of what he was explaining for the season ticket holders who know what the hell is going on at the stadium. That's important. Also, never a bad time to have a little Fireman Ed lager at 11 o'clock in the morning here. Why not? I need that after that horror show that was extra innings for the Yankees last night. God, I cannot believe that game. Anyway, first things first. Dark Knight Steve with 42 channel memberships. Are you kidding me? Oh, my goodness. Hey, Dark Knight Steve, this is for you.
Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches.
I got 42 names to read, all right? 42 names to read. I'll do my best. Hopefully the chat will let me get all the names here if it's working properly. Abuska, EJ, Rand, Jeremy Beers, Hunter, Josh G, Ozzy S, TM, Patrick Sullivan, Zach Samolka, NW Key, Jordan, Michael Diamond, Eddie Torino, Coops, Johnny Boy, Bino, JK, Sean Frank, Benny Baboon, Swamp Ranger, J. Lepselter, Flight Right, Mr. C, SCA Jets, Mark Riss, Mark Moose, Shenner, Scott Foster, Mr. Juan Soto, J. Sams, Gary Pape, Salem, Georgie, Roseanne, Tanelicam, Golden Shoe, GTA, Axios, Dawn Marie, Andrew Kemp. There's got to be more. Hold on. It's still loading. It is still loading. Oh, my goodness. And I can't even get the rest. Yep, I figured that would happen. Too many memberships. Also, want to acknowledge Golden Shoe gifted one at 10:06 right when we started. And I want to acknowledge Board Fat, who gifted a 5-spot. Board Fat. Thank you, my man. I would love to shout out who got it, but the chat won't tell me. But that's for you. Hamburger gifted a membership as well. Thank you, Hamburger. So thank you to everyone who gifted a membership today. I'm going to make a donation after the show to John Mohane, as Ed was just talking about his dear friend, where all the proceeds from Fireman Ed Lager go to. So we'll make sure that those membership gifts are put to good use. Pittsburgh Mike, you'll meet Fireman Ed, my man. You will meet him on Sunday. Louis says, what are your thoughts on chanting while the O is out? Well, it's a no-brainer that, when the offense is at work, you don't be loud. That's basic football. T-Card says, hey, Jake, been a Jet fan since 2010. Well, at least you had one winning season in 2010. One great season. Playoffs. Haven't been back since. Uno says, last game, I thought there was something wrong with my TV volume. No Jets chant. You could feel that something's wrong. Ed, we need you, man. Yeah, I mean, people are misconstruing Ed's comments. That was the whole point of having him on the show to explain it. It's not about him not being shown enough. It's that when he's shown with the other two who do the chant and the defensive chants, it brings a whole field advantage. And it's a tradition. To not do the Jet chant after Garrett Wilson scored the touchdown is crazy. That's crazy. That's what this franchise is known for. Jets got to rectify that. I mean, that's no-brainer. The Power. I'm in Pittsburgh Sunday night. See you there as Maniacs. Hey, let's go, Power. Get us a win. Kyle Clifton gifted a membership. Kyle, thank you. Tyrone writes in, we need 6 O-linemen for this game. We need to go on a run 10-1. Hey, we did it in 86. Fireman Ed, you're the greatest. Keep fighting. Go Jets. Amen. Look, 8-3, I think, would get the Jets to the playoffs. You want to go on a 10-1 run? I'll sign for that right now. Good God. TK Magic Shop. Ed, say it with me. Jets, 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 Jets. Let's go, man. That was a lot of Jet fans making this trip. They got to come back with a win. J-Quest, I went to all 3 home games. It was evident the chant was missing. Yeah, I mean, they still do it at the beginning of the game. I was at the Patriot game this year. But it should not be being phased out after touchdowns. That's insane. Nate, the stadium was dead with no chance Monday night. You can't have that. I mean, who is ever making this decision? Stop. Ridiculous. Today's Jake Asman show is presented by my friends at Huga House. Today at 12 p.m. Eastern, so in 50 minutes from right now, if you're watching live, Huga House has 6 brand new hats that they are releasing. So if you want any of the hats that they're going to have available on their website, hugahouse.com, make sure you use promo code ASMAN. I'll save you 15%. Plus, if you want to buy multiple hats, you buy one hat. Second hat is 30% off. So get the hat that Aaron Rodgers is always rocking, a bunch of athletes and celebrities as well. hugahouse.com, promo code ASMAN. Bunch of new hats are coming out today at noon Eastern. So be on the lookout for that. Go to the website, use that code, and you'll get a significant discount when you buy one. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Let's open up the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline as well. And let's say hello to Chef Kevin, who's first today. Hey, Chef Kevin, what do you got for us, my man?
Shake, what's up, man? How you doing?
Living the dream, baby. Jets are going to win on Sunday, all right?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it,
back.
Man. Thank you for having me on your platform, man. Amazing job with Fireman Ed. He's a legend. I mean, when you're talking about great and like influencers and whatnot, he was the originator, man. My son knows Ed over everybody else on the Jets, of course, Rodgers and Garrett, and he's met a bunch of the players and all that, but Ed is the first person that comes to mind, and Ed's not even a football player. When you think of the Jets, you think of Ed and everybody else, man. So, just salute to Ed. And you also know, too, like about his beer, which is Chris, one of the best lagers you could get. The proceeds, like he's not even taking money out, but the media don't want to talk about that, like the generosity and whatnot that he's doing and looking out for people like that, man. Like we sell it here. We sell it here at Cloverleaf, man. It's a great beer, man. If you've never had it, man, you got to try it out. But for Ed, man, with the chants and whatnot, like the opener, yeah, they had the chance and all that. They had that the Jets thing that him and Jetman, like, and all of them was on. Like they created that little I don't know, song or Jets chant thing, and they played that and whatnot. Like, why would you do that? Include Ed, and then just for the Denver game, he was there once or twice. For the Bills game, it was like once. And during kickoffs, when we're kicking off to the other team, that's when we get loud. Like, we'll do 2 or 3 chants before the damn kickoff.
Right.
Like, for us to not even be able to like have that, and for people all around my area, my section, for us to be doing it, but it's all like off sync, not in harmony and everything. It's like, yo, we need these guys on the screen. We need to get jacked up and whatnot, and the energy ain't there. So, something's going on. It was like we knew about this before Ed came out. It's just a frustrating thing, a boiling point. Like, to other people, it might sound like complaining, but yo, it's not, man. We need this. Us as fans, like, we need this energy from Fireman Ed to make sure that we're getting all juiced up and going and whatnot. But again, man, support to my guy. You said it just a while ago, man. I had this in one of my notes where we need Olu out there as a sixth lineman, man. Like these two double wing tight end sets where we're putting Jeremy and Conklin out there and that full 84, like you put Olu out there. I mean, that's what the Bills did. The Bills had a 70 out there with Kincaid, and he could have went out for a pass, but yo, they had 6 offensive linemen out there plus Kincaid, and they were doing all right. Like we need to do that. We need to have people out there, and then you have Devante and Garrett on the other side, and pick your poison with Brees or Allen, and just run the damn ball, do the play action stuff, man. Like get our mismatches going. Just we have to do something because we made the change with offense where now Todd is there, which I think needed to be done. Defense kind of stayed the same or whatever, but Keith Carter, like that has to be next, man. Like the defensive line too with Whitecott, like guys need to look at themselves in the mirror, hold themselves accountable, and say, what can I do better? How can I improve this team? Because right now we're not seeing the results. Like with the Steelers, we need to see a win, man. We need to see a win. I don't want to look past the Steelers, but God forbid we lose, and then we go into the Halloween game as maniacs. We're all going to be there. If we get another loss, man, like I'm telling you right now, Jake, you will be sending me to the realm. I will be going to the dark side. I'm going to lose my mind, man.
I
This is
know.
like,
I get it, man. Look, as bad as they have played, it's Friday now, so we can be positive. They've lost the last 3 games by a total of 10 points. If they had a kicker, they win at least 1, if not 2 of them. Like,
agreed.
Devante makes up a better team. Anyone trying to deny that is a fool. Like, and now
That's right.
I think it's one of those things where, if the Steelers are going to blitz Aaron Rodgers, like he's going to have answers to get the ball out quick to Devante,
That's
to
right.
Garrett. Lazard's competent with Rodgers throwing him. Hopefully he can catch everything again like he did on Monday. They have answers to a lot of the things teams are going to throw at them. And if they don't blitz and they try and, double certain guys, someone's going to be open. Plus, they can just run the ball effectively now, too. I think they're more balanced with this move. So I think 20 points is probably enough to win, 24 for sure. And, yeah, I know the Steelers are going to try and run the ball, but Ed said it's something I said earlier this week. If you can get a 2-score lead on Pittsburgh, I don't care if it's Russ or Justin Fields. They're not built to come back from that. The Jets defense struggling against the run's a problem. But if you get up on teams and they can't run the ball anymore, then all of a sudden your weakness, that now plays into your strength as a defense, which is your pass defense, which is second best in the league. So that to me is the game plan. It's just, can they do it?
Agreed. And Rodgers, man, the first 3 games, he was one of the league leaders in getting the ball out quickly. Like that needs to happen.
He still is, by the way. It's just Tyron Smith's been so bad that he's getting, yeah. He's second in the NFL in time to release. I got some numbers I'll share from Michael Nania kind of breaking down, this matchup being a positive for the Jets, but they got to do it, man. I mean, how many times we felt good about a game and then they blow it? Like, they lost to Denver, but Denver winning last night. God, are the Saints awful? Oh my God.
It hurts, man, with just a field goal, man. And for us Jet fans, man, it's like to be there in the rain. It's cold, again, with not having Ed being like involved with this, it just hurts, man. But keep up the good work, man. Solid job. We got the Steelers. I'm bricked the hell up, man. Let's get this done, man.
Let's go, Chef Kev. Let's go.
Let's get bricked up.
I got my brick. I'm ready, man. Please just win and give us a season. Like, Gator did a great job with the intro to the show of the Rodgers to Devante pass that the Jets posted this morning to get everyone excited. I just can't imagine what the vibes would be in this fan base if they had one more win right now. Forget being 4-2, which is the bare minimum they should be. If they were 3-3 right now, even if they lost the Buffalo game, but let's say they had the Denver win, we would still be so energized by it. And I know there's people still excited and, we're going to be optimistic for Sunday, but it's a different vibe if they just had one more win right now. So the season starts Sunday. They're approaching must-win territory in this game. They get the 2-5. I mean, I don't see it. You put yourself in too big of a hole. So you got to win Sunday. I'm going to play a little Devante Adams to get this fan base fired up, though. We'll do our part. Reminder, we got a watch party on Sunday. We'll be watching this game together. It's going to be a celebration or we'll commiserate together. Either way, we're at our best when we're all together. So come out to T-Squared Social this Sunday night. Here's a little Devante Adams from the other day talking about becoming a New York Jet.
What's this last week or 2 weeks been like for you, and then how did it feel when you found out this is where you were going?
It's been a roller coaster for sure. It's a weird thing to say, that I'm happy, but obviously it was time for a change, and this whole thing kind of transpired a little weird, but it's at the end of the day, we in a better place. I think that Raiders are in a better place as well, and everybody can kind of move on. But definitely been a roller coaster. It was a little bit up and down and left and right here and there, but we ultimately got it done.
What's it like being with Aaron again? You're staying with him too. We told us.
Yeah.
It's all that way.
Well, I don't know yet. We haven't played yet, so I don't know. He might not be as good as he used to be, so we'll see. But no, serious. I mean, it's great just being back, being able to be with my guy. Like, first and foremost, just being able to spend time with him every day again is something that I put a lot of value on. So just having his company, but obviously having him as my quarterback again. I mean, he was part of why I am who I am and why I turned into the player, whether it's the cerebral approach, it's the attention to detail, just learning from him and watching him operate and just how dialed in he is at all times. I feel like that has a lot to do with how I ultimately ended up being kind of functioning the way I do as a player. So it's a good deal. It's definitely good to be around him and be around the guys, and a lot of familiar faces in here, a few former Packers, former Raiders too, so it's good.
Do you view this as a multi-year relationship, Devante, being here with the Jets, not Aaron, but with the Jets organization?
You said a multi-who?
Yeah, multi-year, multiple years.
I mean, I hope so. That's the plan. I mean, I want to be here. I never go somewhere in hopes of having to find a new home. So that's the hope.
How is the hamstring, and do you think you'll be able to play with a full load on Sunday?
Yeah, whatever a full load is, but definitely I'll be able to roll. I'll be feeling good right now, and was running around today. We had a jog through practice today, but it was good. Felt good running around.
Devante, what was Monday like? I'm wondering if you were even watching the Jet game on TV. When did you find out that it was happening? And then, of course, you jump on the red eye, and I guess you called Aaron before you.
Yeah. I mean, Monday was a whirlwind. I was not aware that it was going down, and then, I ended up getting a little bit of communication that it was close to happening, and had to jump on a plane and wanted to make sure I talked to him before I was already out here, just because I know that the game. First, we recapped the game, talked about it just like we always do. Even last year we get together after games and whether it's a FaceTime or on the phone and just talk about football. So got a little bit of that. Talked about a couple of the things in the game that things that we clicked up on before, things that we may have missed that I needed to know moving forward, and just sprung the news. We actually talked about the game for a good amount of time before I said anything about being on the way. So I just wanted to get a feel for him, see where his mind was, and then definitely put him in a much better mood after the game when I let him know.
How are you viewing this opportunity to team up with Garrett Wilson and the Jets receiving core?
I mean, it's the same as I did, in Vegas. We had some dogs over there too, with Trey Tucker, and it's guys that getting more opportunities now. DJ Turner, obviously Jacoby Myers, and we had a hell of a crew over there, and I was real close with those guys, so definitely going to be missing them. But being able to come over here with Laz and play with him for many years and got a chance to kind of help him develop and to see where he's at is fun to watch right now. And obviously getting in with Garrett. I mean, we talked about this like a little over a year ago of just how we wish we could have played together, just because I'm a fan of his game, and obviously the feeling is mutual on his side too. So here we are now. We just got to maximize this and take advantage of it.
They've obviously had some struggles offensively.
Is this and take advantage of it. Season starts Sunday, man. We've all seen the video by now of Rodgers throwing the touchdown to Adams in practice yesterday. Let's go. Just win a football game, man. Win a damn football game. That's it. Nothing else matters. And I do think, while the Steelers obviously have a game wrecker in TJ Watt, I do think the way the Jets offense operated on Monday, it's actually set up for them to maybe have some success. Because if you look at where Rodgers does really well, he gets the ball out quick, and now he's got a guy in Devante to get it to quick. Lazard will be in the right spot to get it to, and Garrett these last 2 weeks has looked like himself. So the ball could come out quick. They can get a running game going. You could slow down TJ Watt, but it's going to be on Downing and Carter to game plan for TJ Watt in particular. And a lot of people think Watt will rush on Tyron's side. He'll rush a lot more, seemingly, on Morgan Moses' side. So wherever Watt is, you got to have someone always chipping him if you got tight ends out there. Or I would use Olu Fashanu as an extra blocker. You're not really getting much from Ruckert or Conklin or whoever, right? They cut Brendan Bates yesterday. So now, they have, what's his name as the third tight end? Ferkser will be out there if they go with 3. Like, you use the 11th overall pick on Olu. Put him out there. Because you have guys who can win one-on-one, so you don't need an extra receiving option for Rodgers. That to me is how you do this. And we'll see who's playing quarterback for the Steelers. But if it's Russell Wilson, I would prefer that. I would. Maybe both of them end up playing. Wouldn't be surprised. And I think there's a lot of gamesmanship going on here with Tomlin, too, with this. Genergy in the house. Dear NFL, fire the horrendous Zebras. Fuel up, Fireman Ed. Can't wait till my first game at Jet Life in 2 weeks. LFG. Let's go, Genergy. Hopefully the Jets are 4-4 going into that game against the Texans. Team they beat last year. And they're at home and it's a short week. That typically does favor the home team, although don't tell that to the Saints. Yikes, was that brutal. All right, more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Phil, who's next. Hey, Phil.
Hey, what's up, Jake? What's going on?
Nice hat, man. Love it.
I know, I love it. I put a little addition behind me, little Jets drive. I got a lot of stuff I got to decorate my house with. But first of all, the fact that Fireman Ed has to come on air to grievance his issues with I don't even know whom, it sparks this whole social media thing. It's good and bad. I mean, I think that's why he's going through what he's going through, because if this wasn't a thing where there's maybe money involved with certain things in the stadiums and things getting paid, that's why they have advertising on versus him. I think that's probably where that all draws out from, but it's a shame. My father's a Giants fan. My sister is in the household. My mother doesn't care about sports. I was only Jets fan. That chant was like life. It probably made me become a fan. I'm 37, so when I started watching when I was a kid, I was like, oh, that's cool. I almost became a Patriots fan. God bless my soul. I didn't do that and sold my soul to the devil and Robert Kraft and macaroni and cheese. But yeah, man. And then tapping back in, I think we were talking yesterday. I expect a lot of passing only because when they go to stack the box, he's going to get rid of the ball to Devante within seconds every time. He'll start eating away the sidelines and quick slants and quick outs. And I think it'll open up the middle of the field. But Hassan Reddick, I think the writing's on the wall. Literally can't get him to the NFC without someone giving us a second, which is not going to happen at all. And then he wants a multi-year. I think he's just going to have to settle with the fact that we're going to cover some of his loss. We'll give him the 1 year. And then take your talents where you think you're going to – no one's going to pay you $25 million a year at 31 years old. He's out of his mind. That's the problem. We know what he's trying to do, but it's just not going to happen. No one's giving him that money. No desperate team. Doesn't matter. So, I think we have to either sign him, or if he's just going to sit there, we need to allocate another player. Just Davion Clowney supposedly could become available, according to some type of reports. He almost signed with us. Something's got to give. One more edge. Give me one edge and one more nose tackle. I will feel some type of comfortability.
Well, they definitely have to do something. The hope is they can get the Reddick thing figured out. He is yet to be traded. He has till week 13 to show up or his contract's going to toll. He's got a new agent. I think eventually he shows up. I hope he shows up. I hope he shows up today. He wouldn't play Sunday.
Yeah.
But I hope he shows up today and he can help this team against New England as early as next week. Get him in the building, man.
Yeah, I don't think they put him in right away. But, yeah, without a doubt, a week of whatever preparation. Hopefully he's been working out a little bit. Obviously he's a professional athlete. I think they just want to look good and feel good, so he works out. But, I think Ulbrich would obviously, Brick would be the person to be like, I think he's ready and bricked up, or he's not. So let's cue in that bricked up because we're bricked up.
Kyle, I mean,
Sunday.
Phil, let's get a win, man. Let's just get a win.
Let's get brick up.
That's the only thing that matters, man. Win on Sunday. Like all the stuff of Devante, and he is going to help, but it's like, if you don't protect Rodgers in this game on Sunday, it's not going to matter. Or if you beat yourself with penalties, it's not going to matter. Or if you miss field goals, it's not going to matter. When the Jets get in the red zone, they need to score a touchdown. Field goals are not good enough. And now we don't even know if they're going to be able to hit the field goals. That's the problem, too. Zerline's firmly kicking for his job in this game on Sunday. You could argue they should cut him now. I don't think they're going to do that. They basically have said as much. You know, he's a veteran. He's coming off a great year, so they're going to give him every opportunity. But this is it. Like, he can't be the reason why you lose a third game this year in your first 7. Alan, I'm shocked the Lions wouldn't take a chance on Reddick. I'm not. Why would the Jets make that deal unless they're getting significant capital? If they trade Reddick to an NFC team, their third in 2026 is now a second. So the Lions would have to give the Jets something to make it worth their while if they're going to deal him, which they're not going to do. If I'm the Lions, I call up the Raiders and see whatever it would take to get Max Crosby, who seemingly is unhappy. Snowball wants to know, when can I buy a Jake Asman Show Asmaniac brick from the merch store? It's in the works. We're going to be selling real bricks that say Asmaniac on it. Sauce P says, Jets salary cap is cooked. They can't get better next year at all due to too much money for a team that thinks they could do a Tampa Bay Super Bowl run, which is not happening. You know nothing about the Jets salary cap. They have they're carrying $50 million in dead cap right now that comes off their books. You're a fool. I already knew you were a fool because I already bookmarked one of your other comments because I wanted to read it to make fun of your stupidity. Diva Adams and Diva Rogers. Dude faked an injury to leave Vegas. That is not a team-building player. Thanks for watching the show, but your day is done. Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. Later, bum. Diva Adams. You want to know why Devante wanted out? Because they sold him on playing with Derek Carr, and then they jettisoned Derek Carr, hired Josh McDaniels, who was a disaster, promised him they were going to upgrade the quarterback situation in the offseason, only to come away with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. Go read the piece ESPN wrote today that was co-authored by Rich Cimini from the Jet perspective and Rich Gutierrez, who's the Raiders ESPN reporter. You'll learn a lot. And I can't blame Devante, who knows he's in the back half of his prime, for wanting to go play with a quarterback that he knows and go to a team that gives him a better chance to win. And his hamstring injury, I'm sure he had something. I obviously don't think it was a serious injury that would have kept him out for 3 weeks. But it doesn't matter. Because this was Devante the other day when he became a Jet. Now score touchdowns and win on Sunday. We don't care. F the Raiders. I don't care about them. Their fans were the worst last year leaving that building after that game. Horrible. Oh, it was so bad. Old Limbrook Jet fan is next. Hello, Old Limbrook. You're on mute, my friend. You got to hit that mic button, unmute yourself.
And there we go. Sorry about that. Hey, Jake, how you doing, buddy?
You're good, man. What's going on?
So, yeah, you know, I really enjoyed the whole thing with Fireman Ed, and he's been a staple and has done a phenomenal job with that at the stadium. And there's no doubt about it. The chant is fantastic. It is the best chant in sports. Now, I mentioned before that I have a little bit of history with the chant, and I do.
Uh-oh. Old Limbrook Jet guy. The only thing old is his bad Wi-Fi. See ya. Call back, old Lindbergh. We'll try and get you back on. Let's say hello to Kyle Clifton, who's next. Hey, Kyle.
You ain't kidding about leaving that Raiders game. Raiders.
The worst. And that walk, it was
over
brutal.
the bridge towards the Mandalay, the Baton's Death March. The worst. So usually you and I talk about the nuts and bolts of games or like the front office stuff. But what's going on with that makes me want to talk about the fan experience, which I think most fans think is terrible. We hate the stadium. We hate the accessibility. You covered sports in Houston for a long time. It's really easy to get into that stadium, I'll tell you right away. There's other stadiums across the league that they did a far better job in cities that you wouldn't think, like Cincinnati, Cleveland. I haven't been to SoFi yet. I hear great things. But I just feel like I don't know if it's coming from the top, if it's coming from Woody or Jaime or whoever. It feels like the fans are an afterthought with this franchise, and I don't know when it's going to come to a head with the losing, and some of the other frustrations we have with the facilities and just how fans are just kind of discarded. And I think that this thing with Ed is kind of symptomatic of it. And I just wanted to hear what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, I think whosever idea it was to phase out the defensive chants and the Jet chants after scoring touchdowns, that's a moronic decision. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the one thing that this fan base knows what they're doing. They know how to be loud, and they know how to chant defense and do the Jet chant. It's ridiculous. It should not be even a talking point. And the fact that people took what Ed said in his initial Instagram video and somehow misconstrued it into this guy is upset he's not being shown on the Jumbotron. He's shown all the time on TV. It's like, that's not what he's talking about. He explained it, but people want to hear what they want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I've run into Ed on the road a bunch of times. It seems like a gentleman.
Great guy.
And it's a shame. Thanks for your time as ever, Jake.
Kyle, appreciate it, man. Get bricked up behind you there. Love it. Old Limbrook is back. Old Limbrook, hello.
All right. Thanks for having me again, Jake. Sorry, I think I messed something up. So anyway, I have a lot of Ed does a great job. There's no doubt about it. The chant is the best in sports. I love the chant. Don't ever get me wrong. I love the chant. When I did the chant in section 400 upstairs at Shea when the Bob Cleveland Orchestra was across the way. It was an open air across the way. So the only side that did it was the closed end, section 400, with, I forget the guys' names, and I told you about this last time I called earlier in the week. And it was epic. It was fantastic. And then it moved over to the Meadowlands, and then it was lost. It seemed to be lost. And now you have a closed stadium. So then, the end zone's doing it. And then the other end zone started doing it. And then Ed started getting involved with it. I moved to Florida in 1993. I found myself a Jets fan club down here. Great, terrific. Found a nice Jets fan club. And I was the guy getting the chant going after each of the scores at the Jets fan club. Loved it. The way that the guy used to do it back in Shea is he used to actually spell out the letters by doing a J and then an E, T, S. So, and he would spell it out, and I did the same thing, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm the one that's at the sports bars. I will scope out the sports bar to see where the fans are, so that whenever we score, I do a 1, 2, 3. That's the other thing. It was always a 1, 2, 3, JETS. I'd always get these chants going. I love the chant. Now, just because it's something we've always done is not necessarily a good enough reason to keep it going. And what I'm thinking is that the Jets organization might be thinking that it's time for a change. Saleh didn't have a great record. We know what happened to Saleh. He doesn't have a job anymore. He was also trying to help the team win. Ed kept saying, I just want to help the team win and everything else. Yeah, that's great. I wonder what his record is. The Jets' way is we've always had a losing culture.
Yeah, but that's not because of this fan base. This fan base, if this fan base is loyal and keeps going to the games, being loud and supportive, The chant has zero to do with the record. The problem, they had the Jet chant when they were winning with Rex, and they went to the playoffs 3 times in 5 years with Herm. Like, come on, man, that's not the problem.
It's just,
here.
I don't know. To me, it's just what bugs me is that we have a losing culture. The team has always had a losing culture. I love the chant. Don't get me wrong. I love this chant. I think it's fantastic. But I'm just saying that maybe the Jets organization is thinking maybe it's time for a change.
If that's what they're thinking, that is moronic decision making, because that doesn't make any sense. The chant is part of a winning culture. Fires up your fan base. The greatest regular season game I've ever been at from a crowd standpoint was the opener last year on September 11th. Home field mattered that night. They rattled the Bills. It's the best environment for any game I've ever been at, postseason or not. And I've been to every Knick playoff game that they were just at the Garden, all 7 of them. I've been to 2 Yankee playoff games this run in October so far. Like, nothing compared to the MetLife Week 1 last year. Like, the problem was not the fans and the chant. That's crazy. I bring up the Knicks, I bring up the Mets because they had a losing culture too until, guess what? They hired the right people and got it right. I'm telling you, I'll use the Knick example again and again when everyone complains about ownership with the Jets. I'm not saying they've done a good job. They obviously haven't. The record speaks for itself. But I don't think James Dolan just figured out how to become a better owner. No, he hired Leon Rose, who then made the wise decision to hire Tom Thibodeau. That changed everything. Then they made smart personnel decisions and got the right players. And some luck needs to go along the way. They didn't know Jalen Brunson was going to be a top 5 player in the league. They thought it'd be good. So you need some luck along the way too. Right? If the Jets got some luck on Monday, maybe they don't call the holding call on Tyron Smith. They let that go. They win. Like, you still need some luck in all this. So it's not the Jet chant that's the problem. That's crazy, man. And saying, Saleh tried to change the culture and look what happened to him. Like, what's Ed's record at the game? What's any longtime Jet season ticket holder's record at the game? It's not very good because the team hasn't won. If you have a winning record as a Jet fan attending games, I'd imagine you've only been to a handful of games. You happen to get it right that they won the few games you were at. If you go to every home game over the last 38 years, I'd imagine your record is well below 500. But I'm telling you, James Dolan was detested by this city. No one's complaining about him right now. I wonder why. It's easy to blame owners, but you can't fire them, so you're stuck with it. Just hope they hire the right people and write the checks, which, to Woody's credit, the reason why Devante is here right now is because he picked up the $11 million. They redid his cap hit, his contract, so it's only $3 million against the cap instead of $11 million against the cap. But the actual cash that is going to Devante, doesn't matter whether it's a $3 million cap hit or 11, he's getting his $11 million. But the owner wrote the check. More of your calls right now. The Hamburger's on the line. He's a Jet season ticket holder. What's up, Hamburger?
I wish I was a Jet season ticket holder. I do not own season tickets.
Oh, you're not? I feel like you go to like every game though, so never mind.
I do go. I try to go at least twice a year. I do have season tickets for the Mets, but I'm trying to talk my wife into getting Jet season tickets rather than the Mets next year. I like to switch it up. But I didn't get all the interview. I was in PT today, but listen, man, Fireman Ed and all those guys, they belong on the screens. They belong on the screens. I don't give a shit if they got to pay bills. There's 4 screens, 4 giant screens in there. Get them up there, Woody. Like, knock it off. This is bullshit. I'm sorry. It's bullshit. He needs to be up there. They all need to be up there. This crowd needs to be one with the team. It needs to be loud. It creates a home field advantage for us. I don't know what they're thinking. It's ridiculous. It really is. Listen, I want to hit on Hassan, even though I hate even talking about him at this point. Listen, whoever you are thinking that we're going to get anything for him, we're not. It's not going to happen. We can't trade him to an AFC team. We're not going to trade him to an NFC team. We're going to have to, get a second-round pick back for that? They're not going to give that. He's going to either play for us or he's going to retire. But I think he ultimately plays for us for the year. Maybe you're looking at what? They give him $20 million for the season, eat up some of his fines, and give him some bonuses. Get him on the field. I don't see it. I think it's wasted energy even talking about that. But going out for Ed today. I'm going to give you a little JETS, Jets chance before I get out of here. So JETS, Jets. It's not that loud today because my wife's working. But, everybody have a good day. And thanks, Jake. Appreciate it.
Let's get brick up.
Love it, Hamburger. Love it. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in right now. We got 517 people watching the show live. We had a membership spree earlier. 42 memberships gifted by the great Dark Knight Steve, the hero Gotham needs. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. How we feeling, Jet fans? Are we winning Sunday? That's really what it comes down to. Ladies and gentlemen, Neil is on the line, and he is next. Hello, Neil.
Hank, let me tell you something. I watched the Mets get destroyed last night, but I took it off after a while. And I started poking around, and then I found that One Jets Drive new episode with Devante in it at the end. And let me tell you something. That juiced me up to the point where I am so effing excited about Sunday that it could be the opener of the year. That's how excited I am. Enough of the bullshit. You got to realize something. Last year, the year before, where were we? We were 4-2. We were 7-3, and we ended up pooping the bed. I'd rather start slow and finish strong. Wouldn't you, Jake?
Obviously, yes. Now,
Okay.
last year, just for the sake of not confusing the two seasons, last year they were 3-3, then 4-3. Right? They beat the Giants after the bye, then lost 5 straight, sunk their season. This year they're 2-4, so they got to start winning some games here.
But let me just say this to you: we have a roster right now. Look. When you have a roster as good as we do, the cream, there's a saying, the cream always rises to the top, okay? Look, we play in the Dodgers, and they got a lineup that's unbelievable. And the Mets are doing great things. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm not counting the Mets out until they get the very last out against the Dodgers because my biggest fear, I can't go Sunday if the Mets are playing Game 7, and I'm not going to through social because I'm going to be, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I'm going to be sitting there watching the Jets, and that's my main focus.
Game 6 would be Sunday if the Mets win today.
Game 6 would be Sunday?
Correct.
Okay, I'm fine then. Okay, I'm okay with that. But let me just put it in reality. This roster, if I told everybody in the chat we would have Devante Adams, Hall of Fame wide receiver, and opposite Garrett, and Lazard was playing a lot better like he did when he was playing with Rodgers in Green Bay. And we would have 5 fresh linemen, and ADT is healthy, and Tippmann's in his 3rd year. And we have Simpson, and we have Tyron Smith. Look, Tyron Smith had a bad game, but the guy's not a catastrophe. Okay, let's be real here. I watched a lot, and One Jets Drive, what people are not missing is this. We gave them that game. We were the better team in that game. Our offense was good. We moved the ball. Guys got great numbers. We had 2 doinks and ridiculous penalties that were never going to be called normally. Everything that went wrong, could have went wrong for us in that game. Yes or no?
For sure. And they got to win these games now, though, Neil. They're at a wiggle room.
But let me tell you something. We're going to win Sunday. We got Devante Adams opposite of Garrett Wilson. And
you were so negative yesterday. You watched One Jets Drive, and now you're positive?
I was never negative. But I got to tell you something. I'm negative about the defense. I'm worried about the defense. But now that I think about it, we're going to score points in the first quarter. No doubt about it. We're going to go down the field. We did it against Buffalo. We're going to do it against the Steelers.
Touchdowns. Neil, touchdowns. Field goals aren't going to win.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, in the red zone now, with what we have in the red zone, you mean to tell me you're worried that we're going to be one? We'll never, ever this season, ever be 1 for 4 in the red zone again. I will bet any money against anybody that we will at least be 500 or better scoring touchdowns in the red zone the rest of this year, because it's going to be ridiculous. You can't have a defense. What did Olbrich say? It's a nightmare cover with this team. With our offensive weapons, it's a nightmare. Who do you cover? Who do you double? What do you play? The run or the pass? We're going to be having people on their heels, Jake.
I hope they should. They should win.
What do you mean we hope?
What do you mean we hope? They're 2-4. They're 2-4. That's what how many times?
I don't give a shit about the record. It's
You
over.
should.
Those games are done. We lost the 3 games by a total of 10 freaking points. You act like we got boat raced by the Denver Broncos. Okay, if we were the Saints yesterday at home, getting boat raced 26-3, whatever the hell it was. Okay, now we got concerns. But we lost by a point, by 3 points. This Buffalo game we should have won.
I agree. But
I mean, why are people so goddamn negative?
Because they're 2-4.
Alan's taking the show over. Well, okay. We win. Listen, when we beat Pittsburgh, take it one game at a time.
Can I ask you a question?
Wait. Let me ask you a question. If we're 4-4 going into Halloween, okay?
I'll be back. I'm in. I want that to happen.
Okay, how excited will you be at Halloween night against the Texans? How positive will you be that we're going to beat the Texans at home if we win the next 2 games decisively?
Neil, if they win
it looks
Sunday,
like Aaron Rodgers and Devante are like they were in Green Bay.
Neil, you don't have to sell me on being hopeful. I thought this team was going to be very good. I still believe in the talent of the team. They just got to win a game on Sunday, and I'll buy back in.
What I want to know right now is everybody going to be doing – I don't want to go to a negative – I'm not going to spend an hour each way going to T-Squared. I want fans there. I want everybody pumped up with their jerseys on. I'm trying to get a jersey. I'm trying to get an Adams jersey for Sunday. How would you get an Adams jersey? I tried calling Dick's. You think there's any way I can get an Adams jersey?
I don't think they have them made that quickly. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, maybe.
I mean, this is the biggest acquisition that we've had. I mean, we have 2 number 1 receivers. We haven't had good receivers forever. I mean, come on. And we got a Hall of Fame quarterback throwing to them. What are we doing? We're all sitting here like we've got Zach Wilson at quarterback and last year's offensive line. We don't have that.
Protect him, man. I mean, Tyron Smith's not playing well right now.
Okay, I get it. But listen, look, I said it before, and everybody's saying it now. Throw Olu in there as a 6th guy. You could protect the quarterback if you want to. You could give him time to throw if you do max protect. But the reality is we could do that now. We don't even need max protect because it's only going to take 3 seconds. The problem with Rodgers and getting sacked is he's waiting for plays to develop. He's trying to figure out where Mike Williams keeps running. I think he was going to run into the tunnel. I mean, he doesn't know where he's playing. Mike Williams is a great player, great jump ball guy, but he's not running the right routes. Let's be real.
Now, Neil, hold on. Very important here. The Lane train has weighed in. He says if the Jets don't win on Sunday, the season will be over.
I don't even believe that's the case, but I'm going to tell you this. I am telling you, we're going to win Sunday. The Steelers are a perfect matchup for us. Why? Because if we get the lead on them, even if our defense is crappy as it's playing, it's not going to give up a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter with Fields or Russell Wilson. Can we agree with that, Jake, at least?
Yeah, if they get a 2-score lead, I think the Jets are winning the game, 100%.
Right. Now, let me tell you something. If Pittsburgh has a 2-score lead in the 4th quarter, I still believe we have a shot to win the game. Let's put it this way. Gun to your head, we're down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. Would you rather be Pittsburgh down 2 scores or the Jets being down 2 scores? Which team is more likely to come back?
Obviously the Jets, but how about they just don't be down 2 scores? How about they show up on both sides of the ball and play to their talent level because they're more talented than Pittsburgh.
Last week we scored 10. We scored 10 points in the first 2 drives. We haven't scored 10 points in the first 2 drives in how long, Jake? In the first quarter, we had 10 points.
Neil, they look good on offense in between the 20s, but they beat themselves with penalties still. They got to get better on the red zone. And this defense has to prove that they can contain the Pittsburgh running game. And then they'll have a chance.
But did we go up and down the field against Buffalo? Yes.
Yes,
no?
I think the Jets are going to win, Neil, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as you make it.
I didn't say it's going to be easy, but I'm trying to tell you the confidence level on this chat, everybody I'm hearing from, okay, is shit.
Are you saying everyone is a lot like Allen?
That Allen being in this chat, I want to rip his words. All he does is talk about the managers, and it's this team has got this guy. He's talking about all the great guys on Pittsburgh right now. Is that a Jet fan?
Warning, warning, Allen alert. Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning, Allen alert. Hide the children.
This dude is fucking insufferable. Get him off the screen every
Why
time.
do you think we want to hear
they
from you,
lose. Shut the fuck up! You talk too much. You talk too much. 17-0 gone. Beating the Bills gone. Beating the Vikings gone. Again, what makes you think this team could win Sunday night when they continue to lose games against teams that they are better than every goddamn week? Neil, you're a good guy. You talk bullshit every week. And I like you. I don't
Allen, who has a better roster than Jets?
I don't give a shit. Did we have a better roster? Hold on. Did we have a better roster against Denver? Did we have a better roster against Denver? Oh, you can't. Come on.
Wait, they have a better defense than us. 6 games in, it's showing they do.
Do they have a better roster than the Bills right now?
Do they have a better defense than us? Yes or no?
I don't even know what their defense is. They're playing with a bunch of no-names.
They gave up 3 points. They haven't given. They're leading the league in points allowed. What are you talking
The
about?
Chargers went right up and down the field against them last week. Okay? They beat us. Okay. Do we have a better roster than the Broncos?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a better roster than the Bills?
Wait. Finish the sentence. Now, did the Broncos do way better than us in the game, or did they win a 1-point game in the rain?
They beat us.
Wait, if we played
They beat us in our building.
I want to ask you a question, Alan. If we played the Broncos 3 times in a season, how many games do we win against the Broncos?
It depends who the coach is.
Again with the fucking coaches. What are you talking about?
Hold on.
What's with your coach shit?
Hold on. You think Salah was the reason they lost that game? He was horrible. And he's gone. Thank God. But again, they had a better
callers, Alan.
Okay. They had a better roster than Denver. They lost. They had a better roster than Minnesota. They lost. They have a better roster than the Bills. They lost. Again, do I think they have a better roster than the Steelers? I do. Do I think they're going to lose? I do. Because I don't think we could stop the run. I don't think we can get pressure from the edge. And I don't think we can protect the quarterback. That's the bottom line. I love Adams. Great acquisition. Who's stopping Watt? Who's stopping Highsmith? How are we running the ball against Hayward? Again, who's stopping the run against Harris? And are we getting any pressure from the outside? We are 2-4 because we can't win games. We don't know how to finish games.
Okay, you tell me I talk
and I
much.
hear you
I'll
every
fucking
week,
talk
Neil.
and let me say
Neil.
something. Wait,
Say
can
talk.
I say something now?
Go ahead.
Let's ramble on. Okay. Now, let me say this to you, Alan. 2 things. First off, the reason we lost a couple of those games in the beginning of the season because our play calling was atrocious. We now have a new play caller in Downing. Now, the play calling last week and our offense was significantly better than the previous 4 games. Would you agree with that, yes or no?
It was better, yes. But why did we lose against the Bills?
Wait, not just better.
No, it was much better. But again, they never finished drives. They never finished drives. They didn't finish drives.
They got a touchdown and they got a holding call. Okay,
Unfortunate.
Okay, hang on. If they don't get the holding call, which was a bullshit call, they're 2 for 4 in the red zone. Hang on. It's not because they got stopped, Alan. It's because a penalty stopped them. But if they're 2 for 4 in the red zone in that game, is that a good performance? If you're 50% in the red zone,
You
is
got to
that
be
good or
better.
bad?
You got to be better than that.
Whoa. If the Jets are 50% in the red zone, they're going to win a lot more games. Yes or no?
I think they'll win games, but again, I don't.
Okay, now let me ask you a question.
Problem.
Does Devante Adams' addition make them a better red zone team? Yes or no?
Yes.
How much better? A little bit better or a lot
they're better? They're better.
Wait.
Does it
Devante Adams? Hang on. With Devante Adams and Garrett Wilson and Lazard on the field in the red zone, does that make the team significantly better in the red zone, or just a little bit better?
No, they're significantly better. But again,
okay.
I have
so
no
let's see what
problem with
happens
it.
Sunday.
Okay,
face up there because the Jets are a boat race Pittsburgh.
If they lose Sunday night, do I hear anything?
Iowa.
If they lose Sunday night, do I hear anything from you? If they lose Sunday night, I don't want to hear one fucking word from you again. You talked all season long. Nothing. Nothing.
No, they're going to win Sunday. I will put it on the line. If they win Sunday, I want your ass on here with anything but an Iowa shirt on. I want you to start being more positive. Could you be more positive if they win Sunday?
How could I be positive? They're 2-4 with this roster. They lost to 3 teams they were better than.
Wait, we beat 17. We were 7-3 2 years ago. Were we better?
I don't care about 2 years ago. I talk about now.
I'm asking you. When we were 7-3, we were not a 7-3 team, Alan. We were shit, and we ended up where we ended up. I'm telling you, this year we're going to end up with 10 or 11 wins. That's what I'm thinking of. And if we get to 10 or 11 wins from where we are right now, and we have chemistry, nobody's going to want to play us, Alan, in the playoffs.
Neil,
hang on, let me finish.
They lose,
by then we're going to have the defensive line will be fixed, because if you're winning games, guys are going to want to come to a winner. We're in an all-win season, Alan. Give it to. Let's talk Monday. Bye now.
Okay. Neil, here's one.
These goddamn exploding cigars. I gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
What did I miss? Anything crazy happened on the show? Incredible. The Jets better win. We can't lose Deal. We need Deal. I've actually convinced myself the Jets are going to win, so I'm doing this to myself. But this was incredible. I honestly, I understand Alan's points. I do think this team is not going to finish with 2 wins all year, right? Like, I think this is a game they can win. I think Devante will make a difference. I think Downing's play calling is the biggest change they made beyond just Salah not being here. Downing is the more notable change. You know, I don't think the Steelers are as good as the 4-2 record. I'll give you some stats here. This is from Michael Nadia. Take it for what it's worth, right? He's going through the analytics. He believes the Jets O matches up fantastic versus the Steelers D. Steelers D when the ball is out in less than 2.5 seconds. 0.35 EPA per dropback. For those who don't know what EPA is, it's just basically efficiency. It's like a nerd stat. They're 31st in the league. Passer ratings for quarterbacks when the ball is out in less than 2.5 seconds. 104.5, which is 25th in the NFL, 0 picks. Rodgers this year has thrown 55.4% of his passes in less than 2.5 seconds. That's second in the league. So Nania's point is if you get the ball out quick to silence their pass rush, this defense is vulnerable to attack. You hang on to it, you're screwed. Meaning if the Jets do get down in this game and they have to have long developing pass patterns to try and get back into it, that's a brutal matchup. That's where TJ Watt, Hayward, Hightower, that's where they wreck the game. And the thing I'll say to Neil is, too, the Jets are a favorite in this game. I think some of that's Pittsburgh maybe going with Russ at quarterback over Fields, but that's part of it. And maybe Russ is rusty and he's not as mobile as Fields. So I do see both sides. Like I can't say Allen's wrong for picking against the Jets. Like history will tell you you'll probably be right. But I do think in this particular game, like desperation is on the Jets side. They need this win. Devante's going to help a lot in the red zone and getting the ball out fast. So we'll see. I mean, just win on Sunday and we can have a year because then they're going to be a big favorite against New England. All of a sudden, you're back at 500 going into a home game on Thursday night. We'll juice ourselves up into winning that one somehow. Quick Dolo with a super chat. Scared to death about Sunday. Can't kick, can't stop the run. Will likely be outcoached. Winning a must-win on the road. I'm shook, Jake. I get it. All fair. This team very easily, despite how poorly they played in the Denver game and the Viking game, could have won each of them. And I believe they were the better team than Buffalo on Monday. And they got hosed by some bad calls, some brutal kicks by Zerline, which is a concern. Look, I mean, like, I'm not going to tell you you feel confident going into this game. You just, you know, I don't think Greg the Lake's going to miss another 32-yarder, right? I'm going to knock on wood, but, like, yeah. The key is make sure that Greg Zerline's only kicking if it's a PAT. Score touchdowns in the damn red zone. Genergy with a super sticker. Thank you, Genergy. The hamburger. Bring a ring on Sunday. Neil versus Allen. I wish Allen lived in New York. How about they get T-Squared to set up a ring if that were the case? Barney writes in, that was great. More fan debates, please. Well, you got to get the right fans to do something like that. Neil and Allen have the gift of the gab. And they're passionate, which is the biggest thing. Golden Shoe says, haven't been this pumped for a game since week 123. Wow. I mean, I'm not really pumped for this game. I'm like nervous, man. Like, this is the season on Sunday. Like, how are we going to do shows the rest of the year if they're 2-5? It's going to be hard. Trey writes in, my record at Jet Life, excluding preseasons, 3-0. Well, Trey, maybe we got to get you to Pittsburgh. Joe Rod, I had to donate for that entertainment. Hey, if you want to donate for the entertainment, my Venmo is Jake-Asman. Don't give YouTube a cut of any of this. That'll go right to my bank account, Joe Rod. I appreciate it, though, man. Thank you for the support. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with your calls right now. I know exactly what we need to get this fan base excited, get this fan base pumped. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
Lane. You're on mute, Lane. You got to unmute the mic. Then we can hear you. You click that unmute button. And he's gone. Lane, call back. Let's go to Gary, who's next. Hello, Gary.
What's up, Jake?
What is happening here?
You remember Mimi, right?
Of course, the great Mimi.
The best in Texas. No one's better.
Mimi, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Good. What do you think of Joe Douglas's tenure as the Jets GM?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I wanted to put this out there. I had Jet season tickets for 2 years, 10 and 11. And they were 11-5 and 8-8. So I got a winning record. Is that what we need? Do we need me to get season tickets again? They
What's your
called me
lifetime
like
record attending games?
So they were, I want to say, I missed one game. So they were 2-1 and 2-1 and 3-1, maybe 5-2 those 2 years.
Well, they play 8 home games.
Yeah, I split them with a friend of mine. I went to 4 games a year. Yeah,
I got you. All right, yeah, maybe. Well, you know what? If you want to go to some games, Gary, we could use all the positive vibes. Uh-oh.
Did you lose me?
We lost you. What did you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to bring the positive vibes? That's my job, to bring the positivity?
Yeah, I mean, you're the one bragging about your record.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm saying they were good the first 2 years of the new stadium. So I'm just saying maybe it's worth it. Should am I breaking up?
A little bit.
Okay. Allen is right. Like, the Jets have a much better team on paper, but that doesn't matter. The games aren't played on paper. And for some reason, this team just isn't putting it together. Like, to use a boxing analogy, if this is my fighter, I'm in the corner and I'm telling him, okay, we've lost every round now. We've lost 3 in a row. One more round like that where we lose a round because you don't let your hands go, I have to stop the fight. I can't keep putting you out there if you're going to keep doing the same thing. Like that's where we are with this team. It's like there's one more week and this is over. I'm not going to keep putting my fighter out there to do the same thing over and over again and take a beating every round. The penalties, the not being able to score in the red zone, the missing field goals, it's the same thing every week. I'm not trying to be negative, and I think the Jets can win. But if they lose this week, that's it. The fight's over.
Agreed. So hopefully they come out with desperation this week, and adding Devante is like giving a fighter steroids right before the final round. So hopefully that helps with the power.
I got 3 games in the next 3 days. The Mets season on the line. Not on the line, but they could be.
The Gary Wi-Fi was acting up there, but we wish you well, Gary. And Mimi, God bless for having to deal with him. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some good news. Actually, I have a couple items of good news here. First things first, Jerry Perez has just dropped a 5 spot of channel memberships. Hit it, Neil.
Take it all! Take it all! Let's go! J-E-T-S!
If you want a membership, click on Jerry's name and turn on gift receipts. James Kennedy, Corey Brockton, Dava Yunka, Dana Russell, and Cat Eat Food. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We had over 39,000 last week. We're trying to get to 40. Guitarist says, is anyone else still too annoyed to watch one Jets drive? Feels like I can't enjoy Devante deal until we win. That's how I felt watching it. Like, it was cool. I'm excited to see it. Just win a football game on Sunday. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, more good news for the people. That good news is the return of the lane train.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hello, Jake. Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Lane.
I'm back, internet. So, yeah, I mean, everybody's upset and pissed off about the way the Jets are playing. How could you not do good? I'm pissed off. I'm sorry for my French, but freaking come on. You got.
Oh, no. No. Lane. The internet, man. It strikes again.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Man, having some tough connection issues with the lane train, Gary. Some of our heavy hitters. Speaking of heavy hitters.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. Oh, hi, Jake. How you doing?
What's up, Bob?
Good. I feel bad for Fireman Ed, the way they treat him. He's a great guy. He should be doing the Jet chants. The MetLife sucks. That's what we have to say. They suck over there. They better change the rules, or else we're gonna boycott them. We should boycott them because they're idiots. Because he's the masterpiece of the Jet chant. So that's what I'm saying. Because I like Fireman, and I wanted to ask Neil, are you still here, Neil? Are you gonna come to my show lately next? I don't know when you show up, but you never do. So never mind.
Is Neil's butt on a stick? Is it a
Yes,
gator?
I wanted to ask him a question. You just let him go. He this time I think he did 16 points instead of 13 points today.
Wow.
He did a lot of points, not 13.
Hold on one second, Bobby. Hold on one second. I think Gator needs to make a new intro for you. Instead of O'Leary's butt on a stick, Neil's butt's on a stick.
No, I don't want. No, Gator doesn't want to talk to me. So.
Wait, hold on a second. There's beef between you and Gator?
He hasn't talked to me lately. I talked to him. Oh, Neil said put me on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Neil is back. Hello, Neil.
Hey, Neil, when are you coming to my show, Buster Brown?
First of all, I just figured out how to get on your show yesterday, and you told me you weren't on yesterday.
Okay, well, I'm going on after Jake's show today. I want to see you there.
I have to visit. My father-in-law just got out of the hospital, so I have to go over
Oh,
there.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What about tomorrow? You're busy on this Saturday?
No, weekends I could. Yes, I will definitely be on.
Okay, try
this
after
weekend
Jake
and
when
see
you
you.
first show on
Absolutely.
Saturday.
Now
Yeah, I
I
need
want to.
fun.
Bobby,
I'll
let
come
him
through.
finish. Stop interrupting him.
I want to
Okay, go on.
replace you on that log at the gun and you shoot Allen in the head. That's going to be me now because I want his ass on a stick, and we're going to see
Oh
what
yeah,
happens.
no, yeah. He had some
Anyway.
good points, but I think you have it better. I think we're gonna win with Devante
Win on Sunday. I don't see a problem.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say, and I am a season ticket holder, Jake, and I was there on Monday night. One thing they do a lot of different things now. They make it a lot more entertaining for the fans, you know, with the bracelets and the darkness, and they're getting a lot more. My nephew who came to the game hadn't been to a Jet game in 5 years, and he was really impressed about what they're doing in the stadium. Now, I think the problem is with the chants is they start the game off with that video, Jake, if you remember, where they have all three guys on the screen, and it goes J-E-T-S, chest, and they keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And by the 10th time they do it, the fans are kind of like saying it in the stadium. They're all kind of saying it, but they say it fast. You know, it's like J-E-T-S, and it's again J-E-T-S, Now, after they did that chant, they did put Ed on this big screen, and he did do the chant before the game started. In fact, you'll see it on One Jets Drive. If you see the Buffalo game, you'll see he was on the big screen. So I think that two things happened. One, there wasn't much to cheer about, so there's not many chants that are going to happen, number one. Number two, maybe it was because it was a night game and, you know, something was wrong, but I don't think that their intention is to take focus away from Ed and those guys doing chants. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this just was the circumstances of that game in particular. So I would not say that it's over yet.
Neil, you're a season ticket holder, so you know this. The fact that they didn't put all them on after the Garrett touchdown is wild. That never happens.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, that was a little weird. And the defense thing, because again, when they are on the screen, I'm getting my whole section up. I lost my voice. I'm trying to get everybody up for the defense chant and everything because I sit on the visitor side. Okay, so I got a lot of suites behind me with Buffalo fans, and I got all these Buffalo fans, and then I have some Jet fans as well there in my section. So it's difficult, but I don't think that they're intentionally trying to take these guys out of the chant thing. I don't think that's intentional. I think it'll be back. I think we'll see a lot of them on the screen again. I think they probably did that not on purpose, but by mistake. And it just was a circumstance of them having so many other things going on, Jake. They do the shirt blow up. They do this. They do that. They got a lot of things happening during the course of the games now that they didn't have before. So that might have something to do with it. So let's not panic that Fireman Ed is not going to be on the screen anymore because that is not happening. He will be there. He will have a lot of chance. We're going to have, I want a bushwhacker line on Sunday of at least 20 people. Every time we score, we're going to do my Jet chant. J-E-T-S, Jet. And then we're going to do a little rumba. J-E-T. Let's get something. We'll get our own thing going, okay? Let's get it pumped up for Sunday. Bobby, I wish you could be there.
I'm going to be there Halloween game. You're going to be there Halloween game, right?
Yes, Halloween. We're going to have our time. You're going to be at the actual game on Halloween.
Doesn't Neil and Ed sound like the same guy, the same accent?
We got that old school Italian accent. I love it.
Right.
Yeah, well, I know. They do, don't they? You sound like Fireman Ed, Neil.
We're going to have an amazing next few games. I'm very excited about it, Bobby. Yeah. Don't lose your hope. I know you're not losing your hope. I'm not even losing the hope on the Mets.
Let's go Mets. Yeah, let's go Mets. I hate
the Dodgers, but man, they are a juggernaut. But it's not over until the glove closes on the last out. I was in '86. In Game 6, the Red Sox, they had congratulations, Red Sox, and everybody in this stadium was complaining about Davey Johnson and how we suck. Next thing we know, You know the rest of the story would happen if we won the series. So with the
McNamara
Mets,
screwed up that game for the Red Sox.
What's that?
McNamara should have got the loss for the. They played Billy Butler for that loss. I think it was Bob Stanley. McNamara should have put Billy Butler back on the bench because he had.
And they brought Giraldi in. Giraldi was crap.
Yeah,
too.
Giraldi sucked too. Oh my God, he
was horrible.
Yeah, Bob Stanley sucks too. Oh yeah.
Look, this is, and let me tell you something, Bobby. Being at that stadium in that moment and watching Game 6, and I was at Game 7. Okay, the elation, the excitement is what we're going. That's what's going to happen with the Jets. It's going to be one of those things. It can't be easy.
I agree with you.
We're going to be the underdogs, us against the world, and we're going to come through. And one day we'll be walking down Broadway very soon. If it's not this year, it's next year. But I think it's this year. I'll be honest with you. I still see it happening.
This year.
I still see it happening, but it'll be fun, and we'll get everybody back on the lane train. Come after we have a win on Sunday.
Yes, let's go, Dale.
Yeah.
The beauty of Jet fans are these two super chats back to back that just came in. 25 writes in, watch us get blown out by the Steelers. Russ will cook and have one of his best games, something that can only happen to us Jet fans. Next super chat. Louis writes in, I have a good feeling about this Sunday. Russ doesn't scare me at all. And with the addition of Adams, I think he'll be more reliable than some of the wide receivers on this roster. Parentheses, Williams, go Jets. Amazing. Devante's going to help right away. His presence alone will gravitate members of the defense to him. Garrett, I think, has a big night on Sunday. They're going to move the ball because they'll get it out quick. They got to convert in the red zone. That's the game. And they got to put some pressure on Russell Wilson, man. Quinn Williams, he's a big night. All right, last two calls. We'll do James and JT to wrap us up. James, what do you got for us?
Hey, Jake. Just to Neil, I'm pretty positive, and you know what? I want everyone to relax because here it is. I guarantee the win on Sunday.
Oh God, were you Joe Namath?
And the last guarantee I put down was last year against the Eagles, and that worked out. So I figured I'd pull one out for this season. I think it's going to be a prolific offense. I think we're in for a good one, and I think things might start turning around. They'll get less than 5 penalties a game, and everything else is just going to start to fall into place. So. Thank you, Jake.
Wow.
Let's get a positive attitude.
I didn't realize your last guarantee on the show was the Eagle game last year. Good for you, James. I like to hear that.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's hope you're 2 for 2.
Let's get brick up.
Yeah. This is what T-Squared better be sounding like at the watch party for everyone coming out on Sunday night.
The yellow line and the goal line. Hand off to Hall. Touchdown Jets. They're going to get a free play. Rodgers is the master at it, and a touchdown by Lazard.
Let's go, baby. Come on down to T-Squared Social. RSVP with the link I have in the description. Hey, I want to give a shout out. I jokingly threw out my Venmo and someone Venmo'd me. Raj Kumar just sent me $20 for entertainment. AKA that's Metro Funny. That's awesome. I appreciate it, man. I was completely kidding about the Venmos, but that's awesome. Thank you very much. That's Chipotle right there, folks. Jetaholic in the house. Thoughts on bringing back Jamal Adams to help with the run D. Here's what I'm going to say about Jamal Adams. Watch the film. Because I did. Here's what it looks like. Here's Jamal Adams against the run if you think he's going to help this run defense. This is from last year. Jamal Adams when he was still with the Seahawks. He is a bigger liability on a football field, not just pass coverage, than Ryan Gosling was in Remember the Titans. He stinks. He hasn't played with the violence or physicality he once did because his body's broken down. He's been hurt so many times. You can see it. If we were getting 2019 Jamal Adams, yeah, sure, bring him in. He's not that guy anymore. He was never good in coverage. Now that we're using him as a linebacker in Tennessee, this is this season. He's not any good. Nice tackle, Jamal. He stinks. Anyone who wants Jamal Adams has not obviously watched him. You're just going off the name, which I get. But that's why it's my job and people who cover the NFL to show you what the real stuff is. I mean, come on now. He's not any good. And he's an asshole, if we're being honest. Bad guy. 25, LMFAO. Are we the most bipolar fan base? Yeah. That's what makes this fan base amazing. Even the most negative of Jet fans, they'll be watching on Sunday. None of us ever actually quit. We say we're done, and then we're right back the next week. JT is next. What's up, JT? You wrap us up on our first show. We're back at 4 p.m. today with Boy Green. What's up, Jay?
You're trusting me with that to wrap it up? No,
I believe in you.
I just wanted to go on about the Fireman Ed thing because, man, the energy, you can really feel the lack of energy from not having Fireman Ed pump up the crowd. On defense, while we're being loud, it's just it's just not the same. And after touchdown, I don't know, man. It's just not the same at Jet Life this year as it has been in the past. I feel like it should have been more electric than it was last year at the Bills game, but it really wasn't. I don't know, man. Stadium's loud, but Fireman Ed really gets the crowd pumped. But I hope they correct that in the future. I hope they see all this feedback from all the Jets fans and actually do something about it, to be honest, because, come on, we need to bring back our home field advantage, like Ed said, man.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's like, to me, it's so silly. Like, it's crazy. It's even a thing.
Right. And then one more thing I wanted to hit on is that I personally think we win the last 3 games with Devante Adams. Our offense is going to look so much more fluid. I can't wait to see what happens this weekend in Pittsburgh. But Jake, you have a good one. And let's go Jets, 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 Jets.
Amen, JT. And let's go Yanks as well. Let's get a quick bounce back today and get back on track. Philip John, Jake, trade deadline. Who else are you after? I mean, I want someone that could give me some plays against the run. Saints are losing every week now. Call up the Saints. Get Nathan Shepard back here for the defensive line. Give him Mike Williams. They need a receiver. Boom. There's your trade. If we're going to jettison Mike Williams for no reason. All right, you know who I want? I want Hassan Reddick on this team because he's really good at football. He might be a moron, but he's a good football player. Who's your daddy writes in? Allen is such a negative Nelly. Why give him screen time? Well, here's the thing, right? Not every point Allen makes, he's incorrect with. Now, let's be abundantly clear. Allen is a fraud. I believe that. But I think the debate him and Neil had was fine. That was fair. You know, Allen, to his credit, was never in on Salah. He turned out to be right about that. So we got to acknowledge that. And I don't like people that are positive all the time. We got to have a balance on this show. You know, we got to have different viewpoints, different perspectives. I think it's healthy. You know, I give you my opinion, but what makes the show is the Asmaniacs who call in and have their perspectives. You know? And, you know, Allen was saying, hey, this team has been better than the last 3 teams they played. They lost all 3. Why am I going to expect it's going to be different? I get it. I do think it's different with Devante now. I do think it's different now with Downing getting a second game. But we'll see. I think Allen is sometimes too negative, but I can't tell any Jet fan how to be negative or not to be negative when most of your life you've seen losing, especially during this playoff drought. 25 says, need O-line and D-line help. Crazy that we thought those were strengths before the season. Well, the D-line, there's a reason why it's not playing as well as it did. Look at the personnel. When we looked at this team going into the year, We assessed them having a Pro Bowler in Jermaine Johnson, who unfortunately got hurt in week 2. And obviously, we assumed Hassan Reddick was going to play for this team this year when they traded for him back in March. That's a major, major reason why the D-line is not as good. That's the reason. The O-line, look, the O-line, here's what's wild to me about the O-line. How bad the run blocking was at the beginning of the year, that Brees, who was amazing last year with a worse O-line, worse quarterback situation, was much better. That was surprising. And here's my thing with the O-line. The concerns with the O-line was, could they stay on the field healthy? There's not one Jet fan that had any concerns about Tyron Smith still being an elite left tackle, let alone he's not even average right now. He's been below average. According to Pro Football Focus, which is not the end-all be-all, but just, a site to kind of give you an idea. Aaron Rodgers has been pressured 56 times this season. The 5 offensive linemen to give up the most. Tyron Smith with 16. Olu Fashanu 9. Joe Tippmann 7. Morgan Moses 6. John Simpson 6. Tyron has not been good. 16 pressures allowed. He's given up more sacks this year than he allowed all last year in 13 games. He was a second-team All-Pro last year. Even if he was not that, if he was average, they'd be in a better shape. That's the issue with the O-line. It's Tyron Smith's got to play better. Or if he's truly shot, got to play Olu at his natural left tackle position. That's how you got to look at it. I mean, it's not that complicated. And despite the issues with the O-line, if their kicker who didn't miss for 2 years hits some kicks, they have at least 1, if not 2 more wins right now. $25. Tyron comes to the Jets and plays like this. Typical. Yeah, I mean, only the Jets, right? Last year, Zerline can't miss in a meaningless year for the Jets. This year, when they have a chance to win games and they could use the Greg Zerline of the last 2 years, he can't hit a 32-yarder. It's crazy. Tyron Smith, second-team All-Pro last year, comes to the Jets. Now looks like Mekhi Becton. Same number as Becton, too. I'm convinced it's maybe Becton in Tyron's body this year. That's why he's struggling. Philip, it's a crazy thought, but would LA trade Derwin? Probably not. They're in the playoff race. And the Jets, I don't think, would invest that kind of resource into the safety. And Derwin's always hurt, too. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in 3 hours and 30 minutes. I will be joined by Boy Green and his weekly spot on the program, so I'm looking forward to that. Also, if you're a football fan, which you obviously are, the Jake Asman Football Show is live today at 2 p.m. Eastern with Cole Thompson. We'll talk about everything going on in the league. Week 7 of the NFL. We'll certainly talk about the Steelers quarterback change if that's what's coming. And we'll give our picks that we do each and every week. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank this fan base for being the best in sports. You guys are the best. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click the like button on your way out of here. That's the key to all of it. This channel continuing to grow. Thank you all for your support. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the latest Jake Asman Show. Thank you to Fireman Ed. Hold on. 25 goes, the misery must end sometime, right? Right? I hope so. Hope so. That's the super chat at the buzzer. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed Fireman Ed. If you actually watched him and listened to him, you could see that what they say about him and what the headlines read from this whole thing is completely fabricated. So hopefully that added some context to everything. You guys are the best. Go Jets. I'll talk to you guys soon. Jets, 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 Jets. Let's go, baby.
Here it is. Little Victor Cruz dance. Oh, Victor. Woo. I'm doing a little salsa, baby. Yeah. Woo.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Bass, and Jake. Get it started, Gator. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake.
The super chat's always cut the line.
And the Boyalo dances really fine.
When she's so chucking them back them jets.
My senorita, you know she gets real happy.
Real happy if that female lookers are rhyme.
Hey, Gator, it's a family show.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Bass and Jake. Bass and Jake. Bass and Jake. Bass and Jake.
Jets got to get this offensive line figured out. Because it doesn't matter who we have on the center, because these assholes can't hold the line. I don't mean, the fuck? I think there's a little fire over there. Hold on. Oh, Jake, I might need you to call 911. Oh, shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell's going on here? Oh, my Lord. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh.